Leche. 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 Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting nippy up the Kraken. We stacking chips, all of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, 'cause we be pubbing. Leche.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, May 11th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Man, yesterday was so smooth and easy in NHL and NBA. So easy and smooth, just like we wrote it up. And MLB was just a wild roller coaster, as MLB is. But my goodness, it was so funny from an actual betting standpoint. I told myself, if I cash the first period under 1.5, I will then bet the under 7 in the Oilers game. And then I cash the under 1.5. I'm like, look, I can't lose today in NHL now. I'm in the black no matter what happens. Don't mess that up. So I let that go, which is fine. But man, we have so much work to do here in NHL. The teams that I've been focusing everything on are, I've just tied up the series. One has game 5 at home. The Stars and the Oilers have game 5 on the road, but it just went. The last couple of days have been great. We're 3-0 in NHL this week, plus 3.71 units. We're 6-1 combined in NHL and NBA, plus 4.61 units. And 5.61 units. 6-1 plus 5.61 units. And man, I'm pumped up. I'm really excited about today's show. We have Mr. Gogster for NHL. Then we have Jose Bouquett for MLB, a special guest appearance for the final game, the Rangers game by Sharpie's Bets, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. And then we have Billy Brisbane for NBA. There is a bit of a issue because Billy has his podcast, so we got to figure out how to time everything right. But it just feels good. I'm embarrassed by we had such a strong football season, and I just couldn't, for whatever reason, carry that through with NHL and NBA. NBA's been an embarrassment this year. We've had a good playoffs, and there's still time to make it less of an embarrassment. But NHL really bothered me, not winning, not beating NHL, which is, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for NHL. And so I told you guys I will be in the black in NHL before the season's over overall on the year, and we're very close now. We're 2.5 units out. So we've gone 27-20 plus 7.66 units in the NHL playoffs, and I expect double digits in the playoffs like we do every year. So there's still a lot of work to do, but everything seems to be coming together just right. And look at all the things that happened yesterday. We all were on the Warriors, all of us. But we also heard that 99% of the money was on Steph Curry's point prop over. I mean, I'm sure Dennis Garcia was licking his chops on the under there. And of course that went under, This is such a wild ride that we have chosen to live. And it's so much fun, especially this time of year. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We have one on Tuesday. We have one on Wednesday. 2 weeks ago, we got the sweep. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We won every single day. I want that again. I want that right now. Shout out to everybody joining us. Community and New Knowledge. Our guy, Community and New Knowledge, now a member. We be pubbing. That means a ton to us. Thank you. Viper and B in the house. Padres -1, Stars -1, Rays -1. You guys already know I'm on the Stars. I have made a baseball bet, and it was pretty wild. It's happened to all of us. I saw Pinnacle. Well, we'll discuss it, but it's the Padres Twins game. So I saw Pinnacle move it to 8. Bet 365 still at the 8.5. At that point, I wasn't sure if the game yesterday was going to go in extra innings, and so I had to deal with some family, take care of the kids getting to bed, and I was like, I got to get this bet in. And still, I got L upstairs, and I went right, but didn't put it back. I went right downstairs to make the bet, and sure enough, I'm putting it in, and it moved to 8 while I was making the bet. Then the game went to at least 12 innings. I'm not sure, or at least 11. I'm not sure how deep it went. Used a ton of the bullpen, and then I wasn't so angry. I did get the first 5 under 4 at plus 100. That's minus 115 right now. I did look at, and I did tell myself, well, bet the first 3 when it becomes available, but that first 3 under 2.5 is minus 155. So those are the only bets I have locked in right now. And I can't wait to talk about all of these sports. Fap win in the house. So Viper on Padres -1, Stars -1, Rays -1. Fap win on New York Mets. Most hits against Cincinnati today. Fap win and his vat of lube in the house. Mr. Vape ready to get to work, liking have similar action. Mr. Vape and Vipe have similar action. Spenny Penny Bomb says NHL sucked last night, but Gaussman K props were a thing of beauty. They were beautiful. You ended with 9 props. You hit the 8 or more and the 9 or more. You did that excellently. Oh, and that screwed me up in baseball too. So you guys know I didn't get that Guardians game in. It moved to 7, so I didn't bet it at 7. And then the same thing happened to me in the Blue Jays game. That first 5 moved to 4, and so I didn't bet it. I went 5 and 6 in MLB, and those 2 spots would have given me a winning day, but it's my fault. It's my fault for figuring out that was a look too late. You got to deal with those consequences. Troy Torrance ready to go, says Celtics tonight. Jay Smooth in the house. What up, Jay Smooth? Jorge, don't play. Slatty says Oilers not getting that empty net goal hurt. Peter Angelo meeting with NHL player safety for the Slatch on Draisaitl. And loving the call on the Leafs Thunder. Thank you, Slatty. I haven't bet the Oilers yet, but I don't really know what's keeping me off of it. Minus 130 plus 175 on the -1. I probably should have already bet it. There's Guillermo Zertucci. Beefy bets in the house. Serious business. Paco Healy. Jorge, don't play. Brunson points and assists over cash by third quarter. That was a thing of beauty. Brewers over cash. Sox Royals over cash. Nice job, Jorge. Justin McElvey. There's our guy, the community of new knowledge. Says, I finally joined. Bro, let's get this cheese. Respect. I love it. Community new knowledge. Great capper. Big part of our fam here. Johnny Guns in the house. There's Jason M. There's Clint Star, the diehard MMA podcast. North Ender. Bo Jackson. Nunya. Big Show in the house. Rocco Rogers. Ron Crawford. NHL spreadsheet play today is in. It is the Tampa Bay Rays. Minus 114. God, that call on the under. I should have doubled up on the first 5 in the full game of the Rays Orioles under, but that was a thing of beauty. I would have been screwed yesterday in MLB as well if I didn't go 3-0 in that Astros game. All right. Tampa Bay is the spreadsheet play of the day from our Ron Crawford. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Ronnie. Burr ready to eat. Johnny K liking the Devils. Paco Healy on the Padres first 5. Razor sharp picks in the house. Danielson ready to go. Love it. I love it. Spenny, Jimmy Buckets 30 plus. Struce 3s missed, but Struce over 11.5 points cashed, which was great. Von Polo. I didn't like the energy the other day either, Von Polo. We were coming off of a high from the horses, and you need to shit on that. So, look, we cap with each other every day. We can both get disgruntled at each other whenever we want. You didn't like my energy. I didn't like your energy. Who cares? We move on. Piker says, what happened last night in the Knicks game as far as the total begs the question, how large a percentage of cash is too much before that's actually the public side and not the percentage of a ticket? I think it was just a huge bet. And that person probably felt very comfortable with that bet, after the first quarter. But I hear you. It's an important topic you bring up. Spenny says the way Seattle played at the end of that game makes me think they are not out or done in the series. They could have folded even more easily, but still put up 3 late goals. I think Seattle might be the play today. Look, I'm less confident on Dallas in game 5 than I was in game 4, but I'm going to take it. Community New Knowledge got on Knicks live plus 4.5. There's Chocolatey Waterfall in the house. Max Powers, Creek Man. Dave Redling says he's fading the White Sox for the rest of the year because they know they're done. And big beefy bet tonight. There's Nate Dogg in the house. Christopher Comentini. Let's pop this in. Beefy big bet. Canes first period puck line -0.5. Probably with Dallas Stars puck line -0.5 first period. Wow, 5.56 and 6 units on it for Beefy. All right, let's get into NHL. Right now. Copy and paste that. Beefy big bets. And let's get to work. Razor says, you're getting old when you're excited to go pick up your new Blackstone grill today. That's all good. Whatever brings joy to our life. And for me, it's just sports and my children. That's it. Let's get to work. Please welcome your guest every Thursday here in NHL. And he had a bounce back show last Thursday with young Jose Bouquett. A bounce back show because he went pretty big on that Rangers-Devils game 7, thinking that it would be tight, and it wasn't. The Devils won 4-0. But he bounced back. He went 3-1 plus 2.35 units with Jose. And he's now just 0.63 units in the red, very close to the black. And he also has the highest average line of any capper I've ever had. Plus 131 is his average line. Let's get to work. Please welcome from Belleville, Ontario, Mr. Gogster to the show. Gogster, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good. I'm very excited about the playoffs, but, I needed those two teams to tie it up at 2, and that's all they've done. So there's still a lot of work to do. I'm excited to cap these games with you, my friend. After all of this work, you're 0.63 units in the red. I'm 0.2.5 units in the red. I really want to.
Yeah. I got a little silly on that game with the scores there, putting a unit on those scores. If I could go back, I wouldn't have done that. But, we're moving forward. Felt good on last week's show, 3-1, and got a good feel. I got some player props for you guys, some totals, and going back to an old reliable here. If you guys, longtime cappers, will know what I mean there.
Let's get to work. We start 7 p.m. Eastern, round 2 of the East semis. Game 5, Carolina leading the series 3-1. There's RVD 420 in the house. New Jersey Devils 52-22-8, 28-9-4 on the road at Carolina Hurricanes 52-21-9, 28-10-3 at home during the regular season. We're at PNC Arena, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's start with the line history here for this one and then break it down. If Dennis Garcia wasn't so bullish on the Hurricanes, I would have lost money on this series. I believe I have lost money on this series because I bet the first game. So other than I just let go. I did not feel comfortable. I do not feel comfortable with New Jersey's goaltending. I don't even feel that comfortable with Carolina's goaltending. But if you can't trust a goaltender in the second round of the playoffs, I don't know how you can really bet the team. Carolina opened, although I did bet on the Oilers with a ton of confidence last night, but Carolina opening up minus 126, they're now minus 127. From a total standpoint, opened up at 5.5. Now it's 6. You would have thought that this would be unders here with these two teams playing, but all these games have gone over. Jonathan Munoz looking at the over 5.5. Spenny says, I think Carolina takes care of business, ends this series tonight. New Jersey looks like they're going back to Schmid tonight. They're going to go back and forth. No confidence in Vanacek or Schmid.
I agree, Spenny.
Vanacek, I do not expect to be in net. 1-3, 4.64 goals against average, 8.25 save percentage in the playoffs. Akira Schmidt has the exact same numbers in the regular season as he had in the playoffs. So, in the playoffs, 2.29 goals against average, 9.21 save percentage. I think you almost have to go with Akira Schmidt, but
you have to. He got booed off the ice pretty much, Vanacek, last game in New Jersey. So it's a tough spot. Vanacek, he's leftover trash from Washington. So and Akira Schmidt, this guy was an AHLer. It's his first time really in this spot. So
yeah, but we saw Joseph Wall last night look spectacular.
Yeah.
Freddie Anderson,
great track record.
Freddie Anderson's been excellent. Long ago, he could not do this in a blue and white uniform, but he's doing it here. 4-0, 1.80 goals against average, 9.30 save percentage. There's Luke Murphy in the house, over 5.5. Luke loving overs in elimination games. The overs in elimination games and the third period overs are negative ROI in the playoffs thus far, but we've all seen them cash historically, and we've seen Gogster rock with them and Bobano rock with them.
Murph knows his hockey too.
But I'm telling you, negative ROI thus far, but that can change easily. Devils 14.3% power play in the playoffs, not going to cut it. The Hurricanes penalty killing in the playoffs, 93.1%. Hurricanes are losing faceoffs in the playoffs. And it's strange. They were the 5th best team in the league in faceoff percentage, but they're not. They've been bad throughout the playoffs, and the Devils have been better than them. Devils come in off an ugly 6-1 loss at home in Game 4. The Canes put up 5 goals in 5 minutes in the second period. They run such a tight ship. So if they get bounces, you are in trouble. Brendan Moore runs such a tight ship. That's the first time Devils have given up 5 in a period this year. Vanacek allowed 5 goals on 17 shots, and then he is gone. There's my son crying. Carter, my
Morning,
man.
Carter.
Morning. Send it over to you, my friend. Take it away here.
Right.
New Jersey Devils, Carolina Hurricanes.
All righty, guys. New Jersey Devils, Carolina Hurricanes. We got a good one here. The problem, I think, with the Devils, guys, is there hasn't been much secondary scoring. Where's the secondary scoring been? On the road this year, it's been Hughes, it's been Halla, it's been Palat. You got 6, 4, and 3. Take away those players, you're only getting 2 goals from the next guys in line. Guys like here, I'll just bring it up really quickly here for you guys in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. We're humming today, Game 5. Yeah, Mercer, even Heischer, he's got 1 goal that's at home. My apologies here. But on the road here, where's Bratt been? He's had 3 assists, guys. He hasn't been anywhere. Bastian, Siegenthaler, McLeod, Mercer. They're secondary scoring. They're just a real kind of like Seattle. They're a very similar team, guys. They don't have as much secondary scoring. I could actually give it to Seattle, but it's going to be tough, in my opinion, for the Devils to just keep up. And like Jimmy said, if they get the bounces, guys, it's good night, Jim Kite, for this New Jersey Devil team. It's been a while, Jim. But Akira Schmidt, guys, he's going to do the best he can. But his numbers, Jimmy, 2 and 3, 0.887, 3.41 goals against. And then Anderson, if you want to talk about Frederick Anderson in an elimination game, I would be a little bit nervous. And I think that could be where our guy Murph might be going with here. Just Freddie Anderson elimination games. I'm never too confident in Freddie Anderson elimination games. But after that 6-1 loss, Jimmy, what I'm going to do in this game, guys, just talk about quickly here, Jimmy, the scoring for Carolina before I get into the picks. Aho, Jarvis, Foss, Natchez, Martinuk, Nosen, Karkaniemi, Stastny, all those guys, Jimmy, have at least 3 goals or more at home. They have secondary scoring, Carolina. They're going to be able to they're just, if New Jersey's not getting the scoring from more than just their top 3 players, I just don't see them keeping up in this series. That one game 8-4 when they were able to put up all those goals, I don't see that really transpiring here. Carolina's been a great home team all playoffs. So where I'm going to go with here, guys, I'm actually going to go, I wouldn't blame anyone taking Carolina here, but I'm taking first period draw. I like my plus money. I expect this to be a tight, cagey game, Jimmy. New Jersey knows they can't be leaving Schmidt. They have to protect him at all costs. So that actually leads me to think it might be a lower scoring game, to be honest. But where the goals are going to come, I can see, is when New Jersey's going to be down, Jimmy, and they're going to pull their goalie with 4 minutes left in this hockey game. And that's where you're going to see some goals. I think it's going to be the third period in this hockey game. So I'm going to take the highest scoring period as well. It's going to be plus 190 in the third period here, guys. Elimination game. I just expect there to be some goals. And I do think Carolina is going to be up, which is going to lead New Jersey to have to pull their goalie earlier in the third period than they're going to want to. Just desperation factor, right? So that's where I'm going to go with the picks there. I got 2 player props for you guys. It's going to be Nico Heischer. He's been their X factor when it comes to shots on goal. He had 4 and 5 his last 2 games. Going back to the series against the Rangers, he had at least 3 shots on net in every single game but 1. So look for Nico Heischer, guys, over 2.5, a little bit of juice, minus 130, but I think that's going to hit. It's a very important spot for Nico Heischer. He hasn't scored as much on the road. They're going to need him here. And then one more, Jimmy, I'm going to give you out here. It's going to be Jarvis. This is a player for Carolina, guys, Seth Jarvis. He's been just an absolute gamer, up-and-coming stud. He's hit this at least 7 of the last 11 7 of the last 10 games this playoff. So look for Seth Jarvis to be an X factor as well. Minus 105 on that, Jimmy. Seth Jarvis over 2.5 shots on goal.
All right. I got Hischier over 2.5 shots. Jarvis over 2.5 shots. What was the first period draw at?
Plus 175.
Plus 175. And the highest scoring period, the third period, what was that at?
Plus 190.
Plus 190. I'm amazed. I'm surprised, I should say, that the highest scoring period.
Now the draw would kill that. You can't. So if it's 1-1 in the third and the second, say guys, that it's going to kill it. So we do need at least, I could see at least a 2-1 in the third period. That's where I see the goals happening. 0-0, in the first period. That's where I'm taking the draw. And as the game goes on, Devils pulling their goalie earlier than they're going to want to in this game.
Yeah, and I see that right now. Yeah, plus 325 for first, plus 280 for second. The tie at plus 240, and you were plus 190. Did I miss one there? Did you have more than those? 4? Okay, you are in business. For me, I have so much invested in the Dallas Stars series, and
thanks, Beefy.
2 units on tonight's game, and. We've swept the board in NHL this week, and I just want to keep it as clean as possible, personally. So clean. So I'm not moving on Devils, Hurricanes. All I care about is the game after it. So I'm very happy Gogster has looks here. Gogster, first period draw, plus 175. Highest scoring period, the third at plus 190. Can't be a tie. Hischier over 2.5 shots at minus 130, and Jarvis over 2.5 shots at minus 105. That is our first game on tonight's slate. Let's move on to game 2. This is a game very near and dear to my heart. It's been interesting watching the market for these spots. The market wasn't moving to the Stars in game 4. The market wasn't moving to the Oilers last night. How? I just kept saying that to you guys. How is it not moving to the Oilers? I just couldn't figure it out. And
I love that first period Oilers last night. They just jump all over.
They took over. I wasn't on the first period, but I had 2 units just on the -1, and I was happy to see the first period roll. Nate Dogg says Seattle money line and the over. Let's discuss the spot. And the Kraken were a better road team than they were a home team. 26-11-4 on the road this year. And I love that there's all this love for the Kraken. And if they were playing Edmonton, they'd be better off. Vegas better off. If they were playing, it's just any team but Dallas. And you don't talk friends off of dogs. And you guys have been successful with the Kraken in this series. If you bet them every game, you're up.
Definitely.
And my limit, as you guys know, with my local is 500 unless I call. So I had 500 on the Stars over the Wild. I have 500 on the Stars over the Kraken. I went in with 2 units here in game 4, and I'm doing it again here in game 5. Grubauer showed, some of his regular season form or some of his form over the last 2 years. Troy Torrance talks about what's the outlier performance with the Heat. Is it their regular season record or is it their playoff record? Is Grubauer the best goaltender in the series? No, he's not. But Ottinger hasn't been great. 2.71 goals against average, 903 save percentage. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. We have Dallas opening up at minus 193. They're now minus 186. There's been a 7-cent move away from them. There's only been a 2-cent move on the Kraken, plus 168 to plus 166. Total wise, this opened up at 6. It's now at 5.5. It moved to 5.5 2 minutes ago. So it just moved to 5.5. The Stars, they actually have the 3rd best power play in the playoffs because the Bruins had a 40.1% power play. It didn't get through the first round. Their power plays at 34.3%. And if you're going to lose the face-off battle badly, and you're going to lose the special teams battle badly, well, then you can't win. That's all. You can't win. You can't win a series. You can win a game. You can get some lucky bounces. The puck can go off the best defenseman on the team's face right on your stick, and you can put it in, and the defenseman goes off bleeding, doesn't come back, and you win a game. Great. But I'm telling you, if you can't win the face-off battle or the special teams battle, if you lose both of them badly, no, I don't mean just losing. I mean getting crushed in them. You'll lose the series.
You're right.
and I've watched every second of this series, and the Kraken are fast and exciting and great for hockey. They play hockey the right way, but they're going to lose this series. The Stars had the 5th best power play in the regular season, 25%. It's now 34.3% in the playoffs. The Stars had the 3rd best penalty kill in the regular season. It's right where it was, 83.3%.
Yeah.
My audio, they say, is cutting in and out. Shouldn't be. Check.
Sound good on my end.
Okay. Let me know if that's happening. So back to this spot here, 57.6% of the faceoffs they've won in the playoffs. They were the best team in the league in the regular season. So the Stars come in off a complete 6-3 victory at Seattle in Game 4. One thing that a little Joe Pavelski talks about is how the Stars, and Max Domi talked about it too. They all were talking about it, how they don't play 2 bad games in a row. That's well and good, but they don't enough play 2 good games in a row. That's what concerns me a bit. Pavelski scored his 6th goal of the series. Just to give you an idea of how magical little Joe is, that's 70 career playoff goals, tied with Steve Yzerman for 19th. The only active players with more are Ovechkin with 72 and Crosby with 71. When the Stars eliminate the Kraken, Ovechkin will have the most playoff goals by any player playing in the NHL. How's that? How's that, Doug Wilson? How's that sound? Fucking idiot. Doug Wilson giving away Joe Pavelski. How the fuck's that sound, Doug? Jamie Benn has been everything you want a leader to be. I can't believe I'm saying that. You know how much I despise him. I cannot believe how he's playing throwback hockey.
I was going to say, it took you years to say that, but yeah, I hear that. He's finally coming around, old Jamie Benn, Vancouver's finest.
He's playing throwback. No, he's not Vancouver. He's Victorious.
Oh, sorry, Victoria Island.
He's from the island. But he is playing the toughest hockey I've ever seen him play. I've never seen him. He's just such a leader there. He's playing like such a captain. He's in every dirty area. He's tough. Yep. He's punching people in the face. He's just so good. So good right now. Max Domi's playing the best hockey of his career.
He's a playoff guy. He just loves playoff hockey. Some players show up for playoff hockey, others don't. Max Domi does. It's in his blood.
So Heiskanen, with that bloody face, plays 31 minutes of that hockey game.
He's a beauty. I was just going to say, I think he's going to be a top defense. Him and Dahlin, I'm going to say, watch out for those 2 defensemen in the next few years, guys. They're going to be unreal.
Part of the depth was Pavelski getting hurt, Seguin going up to the first line, Pavelski then playing on the second line with Domi and Marchment. Marchment being hurt right now is a problem. He's a tough hombre, and it sucks not having him out there. It sounds like it's a concussion. It looks like it was that elbow up high. I need to take another clip of it, but it looks like he's going to be out. Hakanpää has a lower body injury. Yanni Hakanpää, a good defenseman, and that's why Heiskanen had to play 31 minutes.
Yeah.
If Heiskanen is not on the ice, the Stars don't win that hockey game. Dellandrea is sick. McCann came back, and they didn't get that big of a boost from McCann, but he's a Corsi darling and a great hockey player, and he will help. He played 13 minutes, 11 seconds. Daniel Sprong is an upper body injury day to day. So I'm not – and one mistake of leaving money on the table is I've not been betting the Stars team total overs while I've been betting them on the -1, but I have been betting 2 units on them on the -1 line, which is all I'm going to do here again. I still want to keep a situation where if Ottinger stands on his head. Now, it just doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe Kraken are just too fast. But take it away, Mr. Gogster. I'm on the Dallas Stars -1. And for Lucas Ryan, who made a big bet on the Stars series price at -1.5, a lot of people are tailing me with the Stars action. I know Jeff Slaughter's been heavy on the Stars with me. I really, really want them to win this hockey game. And want doesn't equate cash. Take it away, Gogster.
All righty, guys. Yeah, this is a tough one, man. With those additions you're just saying there, Jim, with McCann coming back, guys, over time, if you're watching the playoffs last series, he was a key, member of this hockey team. So if he's going to be back, do you know what line he was on, Jimmy? I'm just seeing here. He's playing 13 minutes. I have here last game. Actually, I can see what line he was on. Played with Donato. Played with Beniers. He was playing all over the place. He was playing with several different lines. So what I'm going to do here, I think this is going to be the old reliable I was saying off the top, guys, is going to be Jimmy. I'm going no goal first 9 minutes in this hockey game. It's going to be just 2-2 series here. Both teams are not going to want to, I don't see us being like a 3-0, 2-0 kind of game. It's going to be a real tight hockey game. I hope this doesn't bite me. I'm going to go with it. But the first period under also makes sense, but I'm going to go no goal first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, minus 105 in this game, Jim. The issue with Seattle against all teams, guys, it's their forecheck. That's what they did against Colorado. They were relentless on their forecheck, and they got a key stock back in their lineup here with McCann. And then without Mason Marchment, Jimmy, he only played 2 minutes, guys, last game. He actually played here in Coburg back in his junior A days for the Coburg Cougars, and he actually won the trophy there. So this guy's just a winner. He's a playoff competitor. So without Mason Marchment, it's going to hurt a little bit there, their depth. But this is going to be a tough hockey game. What I'm going to do, no goal first 9 minutes 30 seconds. I'm also going to go with some player props here. That's where I'm going to go here, Jim. I'm going Yanni Gourde, our guy Yanni Gourde. This guy is just relentless on the forechecker. Him and Tanev, probably their top 2 players. He only needs over 1.5 shots on goal, Jim, minus 125. He's hit it in 3 of his last 3 games. I expect him. He's like a third-line grinder here for this hockey team, centerman with Bjorkstrand and Tolvanen. That's going to be a key line. So I'm going to take Gourde over 1.5. And I also have Bjorkstrand. I already played this, and I tweeted it out, so I'm going to have to play this as well. I'm a little more nervous on these player props just because of McCann coming back. He's going to take a little more of their scoring, but he shouldn't be on that line. I don't see them changing up that third line. I can see him maybe slotting in on the first line and moving Karche maybe around there. But anyway, I'm going to go with those 2 player props, guys. No goal first 9 minutes 30 seconds, and we could see an overtime game here. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I don't know what to do with the side, Jim.
Bjorkstrand, what was
2.5 minus 105 shots on goal for Oliver, and Yanni's got over 1.5 minus 125.
I can't wait for this hockey game. I'm so happy that Grubauer showed his vulnerability. Now he's going to be in Dallas, and those fans are going to be going bananas. So I hope he gets touched early. And the Kraken are a very dangerous hockey team. But I just got
to stay out of the box too. Sorry to cut you off, Jim. They got to stay out of the box. I'm just looking at their power play stats here. 36% just at home, 0% on the road for Seattle. They haven't scored a road power play goal all series, all playoffs, guys. And then looking at a little thing I'm doing as well, shots for, shots against, home and road, they're -4. Dallas is a plus 1.8. And then just back to the Devils, Carolina, shots for, shots against. Carolina's a plus 9.2, and Devils are -2.4. So that's where I just think it's going to be too much for the Devils. But this game, Seattle-Dallas, I think this is going to be a tighter hockey game. But if Grubauer's not good, and they're taking too many penalties, this could be a good night for Seattle. So they have to play very accountable like they've been doing all playoffs.
The Kraken scare me. They scare me on the road. They've handled adversity throughout the season well. Yanni Gourde is excellent. Tanev as well. I know why you like him. Spenny penny bombs on Seattle first period money line plus 130, full game plus 170. Eberle goal plus 280, and over a half point at plus 100.
One more thing. Seattle scored, Jimmy. I think it's been like 8 of the last, or maybe 9 in a row now. They've scored first in like 8 or 9 games, guys, against their opponents. So I don't blame anyone taking Seattle to score first. Just kind of a little trend for you there. Seattle has been scoring a lot early goals.
Robertson has done nothing. Snake bit, can't score. And
he can't. Yeah, he's had shots on goal. I actually have it 32 shots on goal in 10 games. So he's had shots on goal, but only 2 goals have gone in for him. And then Pavelski, I wanted to say this, Pavelski, Jim, 15 shots at home, 6 goals. Yeah, can you believe that? Like he's scoring at a 45% clip. So he's
magic. Absolute magic. But imagine if Robertson was rolling. I know that Rupee Hintz, you had his shot prop on the last show, and he got it easily. The show with Jose. So Nate Dogg says Kraken will come out of icy waters of the rink and control the game tonight. It's impossible for them to control it because they can't win the faceoffs. So their forecheck can be devastating. Their speed can take over the game. But if you can't win faceoffs, you can't control shit. A lot of love for the Kraken here, and they're a dog, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The Kraken had 19 shots on goal in Game 4. 19 shots on goal. Why? Because they can't win faceoffs.
Yeah. No, that's it. You can't be trying to chase the puck all game, and you set it up the top, and they might win a game, but winning a series at 40% and not stopping the team on the penalty kill is going to hurt them.
North Ender says Hintz hits his shot and goal prop at home at a much higher clip than the road. Nate Dogg, I'll be messaging you tonight when the great state of Texas succeeds. Good luck, everybody. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's review Gogster's action. I have one bet, and thank God for Gogster, who has 7. Gogster is Devils Hurricanes first period draw plus 175, highest scoring period third period at plus 190, Hischier over 2.5 shots at minus 130, and Jarvis over 2.5 shots at minus 105. Slatsy is going back to Hintz shot on goal prop as well.
Sure.
Then Spenny, I gave Spenny's action out. Gogster's got no goal first 9.5, Gord over 1.5 shots, Bjorkstrand over 2.5 shots. The most important part of the Kraken is that first 10 minutes. And they're so good on the road. They handle adversity so well, but man, do they need to handle this crowd going, bonkers. They need to be able to withstand that first punch. Yeah. And that is our NHL breakdowns today.
I think that McCann addition over time, like that McCann second game and Marchman not being in this game, I'm going to keep an eye. I know it's a couple players, but those are big pieces in my opinion in this hockey game. So, if Seattle's not going to be out of this game at any point in time, though, the way they forecheck, and if Ottinger's standing on his head, Seattle's going to be dead to rights. But he's looked vulnerable this series, so it should be fun, Jimmy.
It's going to be very fun, but it doesn't start until 9:30 p.m. Eastern, which is tricky. Capping all, we have a full MLB car, we got NBA and all that, but.
I'll be at work watching the games, brother. I'll have 2 screens on. One of them will be all game, baby.
I love it. Please follow our guy Gogster on Twitter at EGO47_. Gogster, please tell us about your travels here next week.
Well, guys, I'll be down in the Dirty Chester, as you like to call it, Jimmy. Shout out to Mike M. Hopefully we can meet up, brother. I'll be there, guys, for the PGA Championship, Oak Hill. This is the major time. We'll have some live content coming out. Should be Monday, maybe even Sunday. We're going to have our live guests. This is going to be a big event here. I'm going to have some live content, Jimmy. I'll be drunker than a skunk too, staying outside of Rochester. So I'm going to bring the old prison knife there just in case, what happens when you're walking home, right? You never know in the Dirty Chester. So I'll be prepared. And we'll have the golf show, guys. It'll be back. Pub Sports, PGA Pub Hub, myself, Connor Mack, some special guests. I'm not going to let you guys know who they are, but there's some heavy hitters in the golf industry. So tune in for that, guys. Next week, PGA golf. And I got a 6-pack out right now. Check out my channel, guys, or my page on Twitter, Eagle47_. That's where my hockey, golf, and occasionally I'll tweet out some KBO picks for late night degenerates like myself.
I love it, Gogster. Thank you for rolling with us, my man. Just mentioning there to Billy Briz. Briz may or may not be able to make it. He's got his UFC podcast, so that's all good. We'll hammer MLB and then go into NBA. Let's move on to MLB. What a roller coaster ride it was yesterday. And there's BJ in the house, says very busy at work. Play of the month from BJ. Ooh wee. Celtics money line. Ooh wee. 5-unit banger. Wow, BJ. Okay, let me just copy in that. Make sure that's copy and pasted for our breakdown here. That is a banger. All right, and thank you for taking the time, BJ, my man. let's get to work in MLB. Yesterday, 5-6. So, the success of NHL and NBA has been very helpful because this week in MLB, I'm 6-8, down 2.7 units. Yesterday was 5-6, down 1.3 units. Astros first 5 minus a half cashed. Astros full game cashed. Colorado Pittsburgh first 5 under 4.5 lost. Colorado Pittsburgh full game under 8.5 cashed. Dodgers Milwaukee first 5 under 4.5 lost. Miami Arizona first 5 under 4.5 lost. Texas Seattle full game over 7.5 lost. Went to 7. Houston. Washington San Francisco first 5 under 4.5 was an atrocity. Obviously the Mania ideas were just abysmal. Houston Angels under 9.5 cashed. Tampa Bay Baltimore under 9.5 cashed. And then my day was kind of resting on that St. Louis Chicago first 5 under, and that went over. So disappointing. Danielson saying that he is unloading on the Hurricanes. Ooh, wow. Unloading on the Hurricanes. All right, let's get to and then Troy said Cabrera walks 5 batters in 1 inning. And that was a part that was brought up in our breakdown, that Cabrera's walks could burn me. And of course that happened. Let's move on to MLB and bring on the star of Say Hey Plays of the Day and every Thursday here on Betting with the Bag. Please welcome young Jose Bouquett to the show. Jose, how are you?
Doing all right. We're taking this shit seriously. We're out for war today. The city of Philadelphia has proven itself a worthy adversary. And as has a person that is in the chat. However, I hope for his sake he throws some money on the Celtics to win the series still. Because, Jimmy, facts or fiction? The Bucks are a better team. Last year's Bucks are the better team than this year's 76ers. Fact. Thank you. The Celtics came back from 3-2 against those assholes. Think we can do it a bunch of choke artists and yahoos in Philadelphia.
I think that in the comparing those two teams, you had Giannis playing at an elite level, you have Embiid playing at elite level. But having Harden and Maxey playing the way they're playing, Maxey's just been spectacular. I mean, the series wouldn't be the way it is without Maxey. I mean, obviously Embiid's the most important, but Troy Torrance says, in his opinion, the Celtics defense is not the same. So,
in my opinion, the Celtics coaching is not the same.
I agree with that. Dennis Garcia says, late with the Celtics. We will get into that after MLB. We got afternoon action. We have Sharpie joining us for the final game here on the MLB card. I've only made one bet to start, so let's get to work. We got afternoon baseball to help get us through our day. Starting with 12:35 p.m. Eastern, New York Mets 18-19, 11-11 on the road at the Cincinnati Reds, 15-21, 11-9 at home. We're at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. First, we'll start with the weather. Let me just refresh this. It's been on for a long time. So let's see any change. Do we have any change in the weather? No. 74 Fahrenheit, 5.9 miles per hour in. Stays between 5.9, 6.2. Take a look at the line history here in this one. And it's interesting because I would have been happy to move on Kodai Senga. And maybe, we'll discuss it, but I was just unable to, with the market not moving towards him. It's a bullpen day for the Cincinnati Reds. The Mets opened up at minus 187 and now minus 189. So a 2-cent move towards the Mets. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 10 and it's now at 10.5. That also stopped me in my tracks. The fact that it's gone up half a run. So we have a move to the over and no move to the New York Mets. Let's take a look now at the cash flow for this one. Let's go to all markets and let's go. So we have 22% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. Then you have 45% of the tickets and 86% cash on the over. Two spots that don't really correlate with my plan. Ben Lively is going to be the primary in Cincinnati. That is crucial. Let's pull up Ben Lively here and make sure that we have an understanding of everything that he brings to the table. So here we go. Ben Lively. He is was a 4th round pick in 2013. This guy's 31-year-old journeyman in the majors. He has started 20 times in his career, and as a 4.81 ERA and a 1.41 WHIP. We have not seen him up here in a long time. This year, he's been in AAA. He has started how many games? He started 4 games, and he's been pretty good. 2.33 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Also, last year, he was pretty good in AAA. 4.09 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP. So Ben Lively, a journeyman's coming in. We have the lineups up: Nemo, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso, Beatty, Marte, Vogelbach, Kanya, and Alvarez. For the Mets, India, Friedel, Steer, Fraley, Stevenson, Senzel, Ramos, Newman, and Casali for the Cincinnati Reds. Kodai Senga is in a spot that I love. 3rd straight home start. His last 2 starts have been good. Last start was excellent. 6 innings, 2 hits, no one runs, 4 Ks, 4 walks, and a 1-0 win at home. 3.38 ERA. Going up against a bullpen day. Reds don't hit righties, 238, 680, but either do the Mets, 238, 714, but yet there's total skyrocketing. Both bullpens have been good. Mets bullpen, 3.97 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, have converted 11 of 14 save opportunities. Reds bullpen, 3.69 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, have converted 9 of 15 save opportunities. Mike M says road faves shorter than minus 180 on Thursday are 22-0 straight up and 19-3 on the run line when the starter had a shorter line than minus 185. Joe Yerkford said it's weird, but I kind of like Mets team total under 6 at minus 118. That's wild. Mike Wilkerson, by the way, fading everyone, going with the over in the Twins game. Nothing wrong with that look, Mike, and we'll discuss it here. That's a pretty low total now. Rocco Rogers says, going through the Reds lineup, these guys don't walk. Should help Senga pitch well today. Bo Jackson is on money line for the Mets and Senga 4 or more Ks. Lex Steele is on no run first inning and Reds team total over. Very, very interesting stuff here. Mike M saying Mets are 9-0 straight up and 8-1 on the road line is a road favorite between minus 190 and minus 400. Let's hear what Jose Bouquett has to say about this one. This one pops off in 48 minutes, Jose. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio, Mets Reds.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had really no interest in this game. A weird line. You know, you'd think with Kodai Senga, maybe that line wouldn't be so high with a 10.5 total. Made me feel like he might struggle today, especially coming off of a really good start last time out against the Rockies. But I don't want to bet on the Reds last 10 days, but it's basically the month of May. Since the month of May, they're 25th, 66 weighted runs created plus against righties. Full season, that's 82. No thanks. I ultimately just passed on this game pretty easily. Not a game that I wanted to put my money on. I've been keeping it tight recently, and it's been working out pretty decent. So this is just a game that I just wasn't interested in. Reds bullpen games are not something I want to bet on unless I'm on the other side. And minus 200, minus 195 just isn't worth it.
Piker's on Cincinnati plus 1.5 at plus 114. I certainly get that look. If I was only betting this game based on the market, that seems like a great bet to me.
You know, honestly, the total's high. Shot to Peter Loshak. You could do a little Great American Ballpark fade and just throw the minus on there, Piker. If you think it's going to be a high volatility game, maybe the Reds end up winning. Who knows? You can get bigger plus money like we talk about. And by the way, Justin's Stacks pod is the Reds team total 4.5 there. So shout out to Justin there.
And I have copied and pasted that. All right. Let's roll on. No move for either Jose or I.
And by the way, community new knowledge asking about the number on the Nerfy. It's plus 105 for no run.
Oh, sorry. My bad. And no, Piker. I didn't mean that as any kind of diss at all. If that correlates with your plan, and one would be trusting the Reds on a bullpen day. The problem is that you have to trust Ben Lively, but that bullpen's been good, and so if it correlates with your X's and O's, then bank it. The reason why it doesn't correlate to my X's and O's is because Kodai Senga is having his 3rd straight home start, and that's traditionally a spot that I love, but the market is keeping me off of it. It's all good, but Piker, no, it's all
a 3-7 Mets team is not someone I want to bet on the last 10 either.
I hear you. RVD looking at the under 10.5. I'm off that spot. All right, let's move on to my lone bet. I already talked about it off the top, and Mike Wilkerson going up against it, which is every capper's right. You don't need to believe, and if you have the conviction to go up against, I always say your ROI will be very high. I told you guys I tried to bet the 8.5. I got called upstairs for something. I knew Pinnacle had moved it to 8. Bet365 hadn't. I had to run upstairs, and then I stopped everything. Like, let me just get this bet in. I ran downstairs to get the bet in, and it moved to 8 while I was betting it. And then it went to 12 innings or so. And, Mike Wilkerson, one of the things I would like more is the full game over rather than the first 5 over, because these bullpens are taxed. There's no getting around that. But I'm on the first 5 under 4 plus 100. That was still available for me. Oh, and Johnny Gunn saying the Mets are the road team. What am I talking about? Yeah, why do I have third straight home start there? What the hell am I talking about? Jesus. What the hell am I? You're absolutely right, Johnny Guns. Man, what am I talking about? Senga's on the road here. Why was I in my head thinking it was third straight home start? Man, my bad, you guys. No, that's my fault. That was all my mistake here. I gave the weather at Great American Ballpark, and then I said Senga has his third straight home start. So that was completely my bad. And thank you for mentioning that. And mistake there. Thank you.
Your slap noise was funny.
Thank you. I don't know how I messed that up, but a lot of work done and mistakes happen. So thank you for mentioning that. Joe Yerger says hockey brain. Ralph Wright has the Nerfy for Padres Twins. Let's get into that spot. So when I couldn't get the under 8.5, it's now 8.5. Oh my God, that's a bad sign. Wow, really? It is. Huh. And that first 5. So this first 5 under 4 is back up plus 100. 3 hours ago is minus 115. Wow, Mike. Maybe you have picked the perfect spot here. God, that makes me extremely nervous. Oh no. A big move to the over, one I was not expecting. Huh. What have I done wrong here? Okay, let's take a look at the weather at Target Field in Minnesota to get this started. What the hell? This is not what I wanted to see. 65 Fahrenheit, 8.4 miles per hour, right to left slightly in, and then it's right across. I think pretty nice pitching weather, cloudy. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Oh, that makes me extremely nervous. Darvish versus Ober. We have the Padres opening up at minus 115. They're now minus 127. So a 12-cent move towards them. And on the total, opened up at 8.5 minus 115 to the under. It's now 8.5 at a pick 'em. Now we have 8 cents of movement on the over. Wow. It moved to 8.5 at 11:20 a.m., right around when Mike Wilkerson said he was going to be on the other side. That's a huge move. A huge move that I wasn't expecting. Wow, that's caught me by surprise here. Okay, so we have a move to the Padres and now a move to the over. I wonder if that, you know what? Let's just go back to that here. Let's go back to the lines again. Is there no move on the first 5? I mean, we've seen it now exactly where it was, but let's just move over to Pinnacle first 5. Clearly, they're moving to the over there, and that is now 4.5. God damn. Wow. All right. Well, I'm extremely concerned now about my action. Let's move over to the cash flow in this one. What the hell is it? Sorry. Here we go. The cash flow in this one, we have 30% of the tickets and 47% of the cash on Minnesota Twins. And now we have 32% of the tickets and 30% of cash on the over. Big move towards the over, obviously. Let's take a look and see if the lineups have anything to do with that. For the Padres, Tatis, Cronenworth, Machado, Soto, Bogarts, Grisham, Kim, Odor, and Nola. For the Twinkies, Buxton, Kepler, Correa, Kirilloff, Polanco, Gordon, Farmer, Gallo, and Jeffers. Oh, God. All right. So you, Darvish, 2-2, 3.19 ERA, 1.12 whip, being very good this year. Allowed 3 home runs, over 36 2/3. In his last start, In his last start, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no homers, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and a 5-2 win at home versus the Dodgers. Bailey Ober on the other side has been nothing short of spectacular through 18 and a third innings. That last start, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned run, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and 2-0 win at Cleveland. Has yet to allow a home run in 18 and a third, ERA under 1, a whip under 1. Padres don't hit righties, 213, 680 OPS. Say the same thing about the Twins, 224, 696 OPS. Padres bullpen, 3.77 ERA, 1.26 whip, being decent. 13 of 20 converted save opportunities is poor. The Twins' back end has been the same problem. They've only converted 10 of 17 save opportunities, but they have a 3.65 ERA, 1.23 whip. Take it away for Cover King says Twins aren't scoring runs like at all, says Cover King. Says the over isn't hitting. Noli noses on the under 8.5. Let's hear what Jose has to say about this one. Take it away, Padres, Twins.
Yeah, I'm on the unders with you, Jim. I'm not particularly too concerned about the movement, actually. I thank the movement. Actually, on Bovada, it's still 8-4 at juice, too, minus 140 or minus 120 to the under. Wow. But yeah, I'll take the unders full game and first 5 here, doubling up with you. I know, Nolan, I'm sorry that I put this curse on you as well. But I just think, obviously, I think you, Darvish, and Bailey Ober are going to go a long time. And, actually, I'll just stick with the first 5 just because I think they're going to go for like 6-7 innings each. And, we just mentioned the tax bullpens, but I don't want to roll my dice with 2 bullpens that I do not trust all that much this year. So first 5 under 4 for me is what I'll look with. I have not tweeted any of these out, so we can line shop. I've got a plus 121 or 101, excuse me. So far on Bet Online. But yeah, I just think both teams aren't hitting. Full season, the Padres are 21st, 91 weighted runs created plus against righties. Last 10 days, 71. That's 24th again, just not good. Full season for the Twins, 95. Last 10 days, they're second to last, 46 weighted runs created plus when the average is 100. So I'm taking the under here. I'll stare the market in the face and challenge it here and watch this game. I know these lineups definitely have the names to go over, but let's see if you, Darvish, and Bailey Ober, who I like. I respect Bailey Ober a ton, and I think he can pitch well. I like both of them to get the job done here.
Do you want the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 118 or the first 5 under 4 at plus 108?
I'll take the half.
First 5 under 4.5 at minus 118. I'm not going to double down now. Makes me nervous. And I'm
sorry if you hear my cousins weed whacking in the background right now. It seems like someone hired a few of my cousins out here. They're out here working hard. Shout out to them.
We don't at this point, so I'll let you know if we do. Cover Kings on Darvish to allow under 2.5 earned runs. And Cheshire going big on the Kraken. With a lot of you guys. It's going to be a very, very fun hockey game. And I'm certainly more confident. I was more confident in game 4 than game 5. The Kraken just seemed to play great on the road. There we go. Jose, first 5 under 4.5 minus 118. I'm on the first 5 under 4 plus 100. I thought that was a very smart move. It is not. Okay. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 2:10 p.m. Eastern. God, I hope so. Bankroll Spence. Cheshire Cat says 19 shots on goal is not characteristic of the team. It's tough to get shots on goal when you don't have the puck.
I've heard this so much at this point now. It's like I say it before I go to sleep now. I'm like, oh, it's hard to win games if you don't win face-offs. And it's just been indoctrinated into me now.
It's good. It will help your capping long term.
Yeah, hey, I've been on Dallas -1 with you.
White Sox 13-25, 7-15 on the road at the Kansas City Royals, 11-27, 5-17 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's start with the line history here in this one. By the way, Joe Yurkovich just locked in that Mets team total under 6. I mean, I like it. Robert Franklin liking the over 9 in this game. Billy Friedrich said, I bet this over 10 on the overnight and hit it again at 9. Don't care about the line moves. Says Clevenger being bad on the road. Singer's being bad everywhere. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about the wind and the weather. First off, 65 Fahrenheit, 9.4 miles per hour right to left, between 8.4 and 9.4 miles an hour on the day.
This game's not getting off the ground.
Is that we don't think at all? No chance?
I'd be surprised just based off of our Our friends at RotoWire, which I don't trust all that much all the time, but they don't think it's going to rain. They don't think it's going to go or whatever. Swish also thinks it's going to rain. And that's actually why I think Billy Friedrich, like he said, he got the over 10 and over 9. He doesn't care about the line movement. I think that's probably why the line's moving. I think it's the rain more than these pitchers actually being good. And Bankroll Spence, by the way, also saying it's been storming all morning in KC. Might die down by game time.
I don't know if it'll die down quite by game time, but by 3:00 it's going to stop raining.
So we'll see.
So let's just finish off the due diligence here. Now it is a getaway day, so they may not want it to go too late, but let's still do the due diligence here on this one. It's funny because Swish, which does a bad job with the rain, has just a little bit of drizzle in the second hour of it. That's it. But we know it starts raining here. Let's roll. Mike Clevenger, 2-3, 4.0. Oh, let's actually go into the line history here for this one. We've heard about the move on the total. Let's take a look here. We have the Royals opening up at -110. They're now -111. They got up to -120, but there's been no movement there. From a total perspective, this opened up at 9.5 at Pinnacle yesterday at 5:01 p.m. It is now at 9, juice to the over. Take a look at the cash flow for this one. And we have the Royals with 41% of the tickets, 79% of the cash, but line not moving towards them. Total-wise, 78% of tickets, 72% of the cash on the over. So Clevenger has not looked very good lately, coming off 5-3 loss at the Reds, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 1.53 a whip on the year, bad K to walk ratio, 33-16, and has allowed 6 home runs. Brady Singer is a pitcher that I like. I really thought that he would have a good season, and I was very wrong. Very wrong. 8.82 ERA, 1.60 whip. Now it's early enough for him to turn it around, but coming off 5-4 loss at home versus the A's, should have been a get-right spot, and it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. I mean, it just does not look good. But neither team hits righties. White Sox 237, 676. Royals 234, 673. Both bullpens are atrocious. White Sox bullpens converted just 6 of 13 save opportunities, 6.21 ERA, 1.63 whip. Royals bullpens only had 9 save opportunities all season, converted 5 of them, 5.09 ERA, 1.46 whip. This game may not go off, but let's do our due diligence. Take it away for us here, Jose. White Sox, Royals.
Yeah, I actually lean towards the White Sox. This might be, I guess, an overreaction towards tubby-ass Lance Lynn sucking again. Not a surprise to this fucking guy right here. By the way, I'm pretty sure he's in your rotation too, Jim. I've only got 3 guys listed in your rotation right now, and it's ugly. It's ugly. Michael Lorenzen, Brady Singer, and Lance Lynn is not someone you want to be proud of, I guess, there.
Lance Lynn has been bad, but one of my starters almost threw a no-no this year after we watched his arm fall off in the World Baseball Classic 12 years ago.
Well,
was it a perfect game? It was almost a perfect game this year.
Drew Smiley?
You're not going to put him in my goddamn rotation?
Okay.
But let's get back to work here. White Sox
Smiley is now in the rotation. Congratulations. He's the first time he's ever been an ace in a rotation. Drew Smiley. By the way, it's shocking that you would root for the Americans in that. Don't root for them, Jimmy. Fucking Canada. Come on. Fuck them. Anti-American alliance. Yeah, I think Clevenger just pitches well here. Getaway day, all that stuff. You can say that, but I think the Royals numbers are a little bit inflated right now. They're second against righties this month so far, 146 weighted runs created plus. I think Lance Lynn probably had something to do with that. Happy belated birthday to Salvador Perez as well yesterday. Another reason why they obviously went off. I just think that the White Sox can get the job done here, but I don't think that the rain, or I don't think this game might go because of the rain. I've just kind of avoided all the rain games, even when it's cost me money. Shout out to Kikuchi. I was going to bet on him there that day. I think it was against the Pirates. It was kind of rainy. I stayed off. He dominated. Whatever. I like the White Sox, but I'm not betting it.
Sharpie says the Royals have seen some really good pitching in the last 2 weeks. The Royals have really disappointed me. I know they're a bad team, but I thought they'd be better than 11-27. Maybe they can bag another win here from the White Sox. No movement for us. Let's move over to Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day. Sharpie going to be joining us here for the final game on the card. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is in. The spreadsheet play of the day has been very good. Had a tough start to the week. Lost yesterday with the Pirates -1 and -105, but it's 10-8 here. 55.6% plus 2.12 units. ROI plus 11.78% and average line -101. So it's been very good here on the show, even though it's gotten off to a tough start this week. His spreadsheet play today is on the Tampa Bay Rays -114 for Ron Crawford. Shout out to our friend Ron Crawford and the spreadsheet play of the day. The Rays 29-9, 10-6 on the road. Yankees 21-17, 14-8 at home. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Let's begin with the weather here at Yankee Stadium. We have 79 Fahrenheit, hot in New York. It's beautiful out east. 8.2 miles per hour. I shouldn't say, better weather. Maybe not hot, but 8.2 miles per hour out to center. Goes down to 6.6. So nice offensive weather there. Joe Yurkovich says Rays finally going to regress. I think it might be time to fade the Rays. Danielson says Rays have been struggling lately and against below average pitchers last 3 games. Herman has done well versus the Rays. Justin McElvey's on the Yankees at plus 102. Says me versus Ron Crawford, says Justin McElvey. These pitchers just faced each other last week. They just faced each other, which adds another level of, I think, trickiness to the whole situation. Let's take a look at the line history here for the spreadsheet play of the day. Rasmussen versus Herman. We have the Yankees opening up at plus 109. They're now plus 101. So we have an 8-cent move to the New York Yankees. So move towards the Yankees. Let's take a look at the total. Opening up at 8.5 as a pick 'em, a 5-cent move to the over. 5-cent move to the over and an 8-cent move to the Yankees. Let's see if the cash flow correlates with that. We have on the money line 44% of the cash on the Rays and 44% of the tickets, 49% of the cash. On the total level, we have 48% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the over, but it's only moved 5 cents. Rasmussen, they lost 3-2 at home to the Yankees in that start, but it wasn't on Rasmussen. He was very good. 5 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks and 2 walks, 3.11 ERA, 1.19 whip on the year. Has allowed just 2 home runs and 37 2/3. Domingo Herman on the other side, 0.94 whip, but has allowed 7 home runs and 39 1/3. Last start against the Rays, he went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks and 2 walks. Rays are hitting 265, 837 versus righties, and the Yankees are starting to hit righties a little bit, 238, 704 OPS. Rays bullpen and the Yankees bullpen, both very good, and both not converting save opportunities, which shows how difficult it is to do that with these offenses in Major League Baseball. But Rays bullpen 3.01 ERA, 1.15 whip, converted 10 of 16. Yankees bullpen 2.68 ERA, 1.18 whip, have converted 8 of 13. Mike M says away favorites are small dogs in the first game of a series with a starter coming off a loss as a favorite are 28-5 straight up if the line is shorter than the previous meeting. Teams between -150 to plus 134 are 17-0 straight up if the total is between 8 and 10. Their starter lost his last start and their previous meeting with the opponent. Wow. Now, does that count because Rasmussen didn't lose the start? The team lost the start. So does that still work there? Because they were winning when he left. But take it away for us, Jose Sweet Tea Tits Bouquet, Rays Yankees.
Everyone knows where I am on this game. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays, money line, -115. If we think the Rays are struggling because they lost a series against the second best team in baseball, the Baltimore Orioles, which I said on this program a couple days ago that I honestly think the Baltimore Orioles are just as good as the Atlanta Braves, and the Atlanta Braves are the best team in the National League. So, no, I don't think they're struggling. 2 games straight against them. They're all close at their place. Hell no. They just came off sweeping the Pirates, who admittedly are struggling now, but back then they were the talk of the town. They just beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. I'll take the Rays here, -115, whatever it is, the best price. Here's the thing. I'm a little concerned just based off the fact that it's a back-to-back, and it's -115. I honestly thought it'd be a little higher, like -130, because, whatever, it's the Rays, but that's a little worrisome. But Drew pitched well against them last time, pitched well against them the year before. Hasn't had anyone in a back-to-back yet in the last 2 years, which is interesting. He had like a sandwich start, like one start against like whoever, a different team, and then that same guy, and he pitched well in both those starts. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I like the Rays. Another mini concern. This is the lowest I've seen the Rays batting wise in the last 10 days. They're 7th, 114 weighted runs created plus. They're still good. So Rays money line here for me.
Minus 108 for you on the Rays money line. I'm off of this spot. I don't trust either pitcher here, and they're both good pitchers. So I also don't want to take the over and doubt either Rasmussen or Herman, which makes me not want to move on it.
I leaned over as well, shockingly enough.
And let's just look at that over once more here to see if maybe it is worth a spot. So the total opened up at minus 106. It's now minus 111, so it's moved 5 cents. Just 5 cents. And we have a lot of, how much money do we have on it? I think we had quite a bit. We had, on that one, we had 57% of the tickets, 71% of the cash. 5 cent move.
Yeah, and the Yankees' numbers in the last 10 days are better against righties, but I have the theory that's because they just played the A's.
Alfred 44, the CLV is being by far the worst in NBA. And we had Ski backing that up. But again, whatever works for you, take it to the bank because if you were a CLV bettor in the NBA, you got destroyed. But again, it's just about tracking. And if you don't care about the line movement in a certain sport and you're winning at that sport, then just keep doing exactly what you're doing. Andrew G says the home runs are coming in the heat. He's here. I just trust both bullpens too much. I trust the importance of this game too much. Yep. I agree that it is probably nice over weather, but I won't be a part of it. I mean, I could look at a first 5 over, but even that, I don't want to.
Yeah, I would rather have the full game just because I'd rather have a bullpen implosion,
But with the 2 of the top 3 bullpens in the league?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Giants Diamondbacks. Next up, the roof is open. 85 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 7.3 miles per hour left to right, slightly out. Always between 7.2 and 7.3 miles per hour. Giants are 16-20, 6-10 on the road. Diamondbacks 20-17, 11-9 at home. We're at Chase Field. Alex Cobb going up against Tommy Henry. Tommy Henry with his second straight home start. Take a look at the line history here for this one. I would have some interest in getting involved in this. The Diamondbacks opened up at plus 120. They're now plus 126. There had been a bigger move. They were plus 133 at one point. And that was when I was looking at it. That's when I took a peek at the line history because I'm interested in both these pitchers. And there had been a 14-cent move to the Giants. Now there's only been 6 cents of movement. Let's go over to the total here, opening up at 9 and now at 9.5. 9.5. So we have a slight move towards the Giants and a move towards the over. Let's see if the cash correlates with that. We have 59% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the Arizona Diamondbacks. So obviously the market makes no sense there. Then we have 59% of tickets, 56% of cash on the over. That's extremely, extremely interesting here. Alex Cobb is being spectacular. He is in my starting rotation, as you know, Jose. And he's cost me way more money than he's made me. And now he's spectacular.
Well, let me tell you, Jim, the rotation's now finished.
It's not finished. I think we need to make some cuts.
Well, you absolutely need to make some cuts. But let me tell you, there's a theme. It smells about white.
Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, come on.
Lorenzen, Singer, Lynn, Cobb, Smiley.
I want Lance Lynn off of that rotation.
There's no Rodriguez's in there.
I want Lance Lynn off my rotation. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. I look for fucking ghost-faced, vanilla-faced pitchers. That's what I want. All right.
That's what I figured.
Okay. So Cobb, 2.01 ERA, 1.24 whip. Tommy Henry on the other side, coming off a nice start at home versus the Nationals. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks, 2 walks. the Giants are starting to hit lefties a little bit. Could you first start with giving me the Giants against lefties over the last 2 weeks or something in that?
Last 10 days, 123 weighted runs created plus. That's only 63 plate appearances, though. So I can give you since the 23rd, and the Giants are 11th, 112 weighted runs created plus and 144 plate appearances.
They were certainly atrocious for lefties to start the year and have been better. So that
full season 82, 25th.
Give some validity to that thought process there. Diamondbacks 273, 787 versus righties. We know they've been smashing them. This Giants bullpen has been way worse than we could have imagined. 5.63 ERA, 1.49 WHIP, converted 10 of 16. We knew the Diamondbacks bullpen was going to be weak. 4.70 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, converted 8 of 15. Take it away for us here, Jose. Giants, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I like the over. I like the over in this game. I didn't get there to the window, obviously. I didn't tweet anything out. I wanted to talk everything out, but I like the over in this game. Cobb is my concern. He's been good, like you mentioned, coming off of a Brewers 7 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs. Diamondbacks again, May first 151 weighted runs created plus against righties. I was pretty shocked as well. 6th 111 weighted runs created plus full season. So shout out to the Diamondbacks. They continue to hit. I lean over. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Honestly, Tommy Henry has pitched shockingly well. Maybe I just don't trust guys named Tommy Henry, but 6 1/3, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, albeit against the Nationals. It's okay. Colorado, 5 1/3, 4 earned runs, not bad. Again, against Colorado. And I guess it's 3 shit offenses, Nationals, Rockies, Royals, and probably easily the best lineup he's faced against the Giants. So I lean towards the over still. I just haven't gotten there yet. I think I probably will. I just guess I have to decide first 5 full game, and if I'll take full game because these lineup or these bullpens suck. So I think I'll take a full game over.
Full game over here. Interesting. We have from and up 5 is going to be moving on the full game under, going up right up against the year. Noli knows on the Giants' first 5. Arizona's had some success against Cobb. Some success. Walker hits him hard. Some success. Not only 1 homer though, in 20 for a ton of at bats. So Cobb, but I don't even know if we should trust those because Cobb just seems locked in right now.
Yeah, he's good. He's looked good. I mean, he's coming 2 starts ago. He had a fucking 9 inning shutout. Well, there's no other shutouts, but a shutout game against the Cardinals, who admittedly not that good, but once he's throwing those fucking bowling ball sinkers, it gives a good night for you. So I'm hoping Diamondbacks can get on him, but the roof's open, hoping all those weather factors help, and maybe we can only get 5 innings from Alex Cobb. We can get a shitty bullpen. All
right, let's grab your over here. Grace Jennings says, I think Giants will end up doing better than last year. I don't trust this ball club.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're weird. It's just they're so weird just because they try to throw out so much money in this offseason and got absolutely nobody. And they're just such a weird ball club right now. They're obviously going to be in the Ohtani sweepstakes as well. And I have my very high doubts that they get him.
Are you moving on the over 9.5?
I'll move on the over 9. I've got it over 9 at -120.
Over 9 at -120. Let's just see what I have. I do not have a -120. Where do you have it?
Our friends at Bovada, and if you want even more juice, or this is a rare time this happens, Bovada and Bet Online. Bet Online has -125. Again, shout out to them. Use promo code PUBSPORTS. Sign up, get a deposit match. Good times.
And up 5 meant the full game under in the Twins game. Well, I like hearing that you're rolling with me there. Okay. Let's stay focused. Over 9.5 for Jose. I like the look on Alex Cobb here. That Noli's on Giants first 5. I don't think I'm gonna get to the window. Let me just look at that cash flow once more. Here you have 41 and 16 on the Giants. Yeah, I kind of like it, but I like the second straight start at home for Tommy Henry, and And we the Nats hit lefties harder than the Giants, but that has changed a bit. So let's move on to the final MLB game before we get into NBA. And we have a special guest joining us fresh off of his birthday, San Diego, California, in the house. Please welcome star of The Walking Dead, Sharpie's Bets, to the show. Sharpie, how are you, my friend?
I mean, how can I not be after going like 6-1 yesterday and making some motherfucking money, bro? I mean, I tried to tell you Kershaw was going deep, so that was just Mando. So we just had a good day. When Kershaw lands on your birthday, it's a good day.
Did you do anything fun for your birthday? Happy birthday, by the way.
I don't do nothing. I celebrate my release date more than I do my fucking birthday, you know? I spent 14 of my first 27 incarcerated, so birthdays weren't really much. But, you know, we've been out 12 of them, so whoop, whoop. October 19th is really a bigger day to me.
All right, bet. We'll circle that date.
That's the day we go out and party.
Coming off a big winning day, our guy Sharpie. Let's get to work here. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Texas Rangers 22-14, 10-8 on the road at the Oakland Athletics. 8-30, 3-15 at home. And up 5, giving a shout out to Sharpie. Richly deserved. Oakland Coliseum here in Oakland, California. Let's go over to the weather in Oakland. 58 Fahrenheit, 9.8 miles per hour out to right field, between 9.8 and 8.9 miles per hour out. Take a look at the line history here for this one. Eovaldi up against journeyman Zach Neal. Texas opening up minus 220. They're now minus 247. 27 cents of movement towards Texas. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 8, minus 106 to the over. It's got to 9 a few times and always kind of comes back to 8.5, which surprised me a little. But we have a big move to the Rangers and a slight move to the over. Let's see if the cash correlates with all of that. You have 84% of the tickets and 57% of the cash on the Rangers. It just feels like the A's are the Cleveland Browns of 2019 with the Sharps. It just feels like they're betting them game in and game out. Feels that way. But the market's moving towards the Rangers. 77% of tickets on the over and just 50% of the cash. You know, it's amazing to me here that Zach Neal. Is it Zach Neal confirmed, or do we know? Is that the thing? We don't know if it's.
I think it's confirmed now. This morning it wasn't, but they had the line out. But now I think it's
okay. It's confirmed. So people believe that Zach Neal must be capable of having a decent start. This is a 34-year-old who's only made 6 starts in Major League Baseball. Was drafted back in 2010.
Oh my God, 34 and 6 starts.
Good for the kid, bro. Good for the kid. Now it's time to go get baptized.
Fuck.
Well, his numbers are atrocious. Now he was in the Japanese league from 2019 to 2021, and he got lit up over there. No,
at least he was there. At least he wasn't in the minors fucking grinding his dick off.
Well, like the Giants pitcher that just got sent over there, shout out to Noli for sending it to me. If you can't pitch away to these guys, you're fucked and will get sent down. They'll take every pitch to the opposite field. So if you can't locate your pitches, you got a problem over there.
Well, his final year over there, 2021, he had a 6 ERA in Japan. Those are low-scoring games over there. You know, he started out strong in Japan that first year, but fell apart quickly after that. His last season, he was in Albuquerque, you know, very offensive league, PCL, and he had an ERA of 6.87 and a WHIP of 1.49. Now, something that's happened to me, and even this year, he's had 2 starts, being in 3 games, 11 in the third. In those 11 in the third, he has allowed. Where is it here? Sorry, so many. He's allowed just 2 runs. That's not possible. 5 runs. Sorry, he's allowed. No, God, what the hell? 7 runs. 7 runs he's allowed. He's been lit up there. But there's been pitchers that have been lit up in the PCL league, lit up with terrible numbers. They come to the show, and I think they're going to get lit up again, and they don't. And so I'm not just going to expect him to get lit up. And I'm surprised the market thinks he's going to be decent here. Going up against Eovaldi, who's been nothing short of spectacular the last 2 games. Combined 17 innings, 8 hits, no earned runs, 13 Ks, and 2 walks. 3.22 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. His last start, 10-1 win at the Angels. 8 innings, no earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. We have our special guest here for our final game, Rangers A's. Sharpie, take it away. Our final game on the board at Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, this was a game that kind of pissed me off because if you don't know, you should know. I bet K props more often than not. I do bet everything,
Wait,
but
what?
I says I bet K props, but I do bet other things, but not a lot. But let's just be real. So I set my alarm 3 different fucking times waiting for an Evaldi line to come out. I mean, I make my lines the night before. They weren't dropping a line because obviously the Athletics pitcher. So I wasted my fucking time waking up a bunch of times last night. Oh, well, we on to it, though. So we get the freaking shit that we wanted. I make my line last night. I can get a 5.5 juiced minus 140 to 60, or I get a 6.5 plus money to even. And they come out with the 6.5 straight even money on his K prop. So I'm like, all right, it's the fucking Oakland A's. I knew they were going to put the 6.5 there. So, Sharpie likes to talk about wiggle room when I bet K props. I like to have at least 1.5 more strikeouts in case shit goes bad, shit goes south. And in this situation this year versus teams that strike out versus 24K percentage or worse, this man's fucking 4-0 to the over, averaging 7.3 strikeouts a game. Now they put him at 6.5. Not enough wiggle room. So what Sharpie do? He do what the books fuck. Who cares? I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna take him down to 6, and I'm gonna take the Rangers to win with it. And I got it at a minus 127. That gives me my 1.8 wiggle room I want. And he averages at least 7. So wiggle, 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 motherfuckers. And then I got in on his outs too, guys. I'm on over 18.5 outs, minus 118. Shout out to my guy, our guy, the king of unders. Noli knows. He got me watching post-game interviews on my pitchers, guys. That shit goes so much and tells you so much if you listen to these guys speak. They're going to tell you the words out their fucking mouth, how they felt, everything, guys. They're human beings, bro. So go search them after the game and see how they felt and listen to them talk. Spring training, Evaldi was talking, he wanted to go deep into games. That's what his big thing was this year. So it didn't pan out the first few games, guys. But look at the last 2 games. He's doing what he fucking had set goals for this year. This guy wants to go deep. That's what aces do. And Jacob deGrom jerks off too much to be this ace because he's on the IL again with forearm tightness. So if you're making that much money, bro, pay for your Panocha. They need you. So at the end of the day, guys, we're going to ride Evaldi. Evaldi is a stud. I throw out last year after he went to the IL. He got hurt, guys. So fucking what? This guy is an elite pitcher the Dodgers should have never got rid of. And I've been betting this guy for years. Had to let him go while he was hurt last year. And we back on him again, guys. So Evaldi to the fucking moon.
I love the breakdown. He's been so good the last 2 starts. So Rangers money line over 6 Ks. What was that, Juice?
Minus 127 combined for 6 Ks and the money line.
And over 18 outs, was it?
18.5 outs at minus 118.
And a half outs.
And he's only hit that, guys, 2 of 5 starts this year, guys. But, well, I like Jimmy says, tracking, guys. You should track everything and pay attention to shit. And I was betting outs at the beginning of the year, and I was fucking 3-5 to start the year, guys. And then I started noticing it's the fucking outs that they're not hitting at. Those are the ones you really need to dig into, man. They want to put something that he's hitting at a fucking 23, 27%. Like, oh, no, people will bet that automatically to the under. Well, guess what? Kershaw only went over once in 7 games at 18.5, guys. But knowing the situations, knowing the pitcher, that's how we attack it, guys. And like I said, he spoke of it in spring training, and now it's coming to fruition.
I love the breakdown. Sharpie locked in. And don't forget Prize Picks. You can make a lot of these prop bets on Prize Picks. And if you put in Pub Sports, you will get matched $100 at Prize Picks. Sharpie locked in. Shout out to Markel, now a member for 2 months. Our guy Markel running with us. Let's go Jose Bouquett, Rangers Athletics.
Yeah, I'll echo all the sentiments Sharpie feels about Nathan Eovaldi. He's been my favorite Red Sox pitcher since John Lester. I love Chris Sale, but he also caught the case of the jerking off too much, and then he decided to be athletic and ride a bike and allegedly break his wrist that way. So I love Nathan Eovaldi. I was sad to see him go. Allegedly, he might be a dickhead in the clubhouse. That's why the Red Sox might be a little better right now, but he's a fucking fantastic pitcher. I love them to death. I've got really no play on this. The only concern for me is that the A's have been hitting well the last 10 days, 121 weighted runs created plus, but it's the Oakland A's. Who gives a shit? I think Nathan Eovaldi is that good as well. So I pass this game, but shout out to Sharpie. I'm glad that we share Nathan Eovaldi love there.
Hey, real quick on that last 15 days, because I like to talk to people about last 15 days. I track people, and only about 80 people. The two guys that they seen in the last 15 days, Logan Gilbert and fucking the other dude, George Kirby, bro. Both
dominated them.
So quality of pitching does matter to me.
Yep.
So, just like I ran Javier versus them stupid Angel numbers yesterday. Oh my God, they hit lefties. No Valdez. They haven't seen a fucking ace, guys. The Angels haven't seen an ace in any of those numbers. So, sorry. That's where you got to put in who they faced. Just like me running Luzardo the other day, I told you guys he's going to go 6 innings, 2 earned runs or less. These Diamondback numbers are fraudulent. Who do you play means a lot to me in those numbers.
I love it, Sharpie. We all love what you are doing with baseball. Balking Dead, 3:10 p.m. Eastern, 12:10 Pacific. No show today. Came here to give us his goods on Nate Eovaldi, but he'll be back in action tomorrow. Sharpie, thank you. Viper MB sending love, as are others. But
we
Sharpie,
want to know your breakdown on this part of the game, man. We skipped you because Sharpie was ranting.
I don't. So we talk about the importance of tracking, and I had this horrific ROI on 2 different spots. And this might interest you guys. A horrific ROI on bad bullpens having a bullpen day and fading them. I couldn't believe it. I was like, well, how am I losing always on this angle? And then, and I stopped doing it last year. It was my first year not doing it anymore. And then I've had a negative ROI on these pitchers from the PCL League who have been absolutely lit up and smoked having their first start in the majors and expecting them to fail. So with those 2 spots, I like Eovaldi in this spot. Do I want a pitcher after back-to-back spectacular outings? I'm not concerned because Eovaldi's last outing was at Los Angeles. But the reason why we track these spots is to me, it's not about what are you succeeding at, even though that's so important. But what is more important is what mistakes are you making? That is the most important thing. And these are 2 mistakes. The bullpen day, we see that with the Reds, even though Reds bullpen day has been better. And here with a pitcher coming from the Pacific Coast League. And for me, this fucking Dallas Stars hockey game just means so much to me tonight. It just means so much to me tonight because it's the capping on the line too. It's when you're adamant.
The same thing as you, Jimmy. You got to learn more from your losses than anything else. Like you can't learn nothing from a win. You've got to learn from your losses and you've got to pull out from it. Okay, what the fuck did I do wrong? Okay. I beat myself up on losses. I expect to win. Like, no, fuck. Oh, you won today. Yeah, really? I should. This is what we fucking do. But, that's just my mentality.
Everything that you've been doing in front of us and you've been so transparent with everything. It's been so important for cappers just to watch. Why are you succeeding? How are you succeeding? And it's, you're a huge asset to the squad here, Sharpie. I love it. So there you go. We got lots of action from our cappers, just not much from me today. Up 5 says Sharpie, that's a GOAT mental. And Andrew G says L don't mean loss, it means learning. So, well put from both you guys. King Art says Sharpie, wow. K prop GOAT. So Sharpie on the Rangers money line, the over 6Ks and the over 18.5 outs. We got Billy Brisbane backstage ready to talk NBA. Sharpie, thank you for your time, my friend. And anytime, I know I've said this to you before, but anytime you just want to pop on for a game, especially if it's one that pops off before your show, we'd welcome you with open arms, man.
Yes, sir, guys. And real quick, for those tuning in, I am on Darvish over 6.5 minus 110. He has faced 3 teams this year with a whiff percentage of 26 or worse, league average being 24, averaging 9 strikeouts a game in that spot. Wiggle room, motherfuckers! And this is the worst whiff percentage he'll face this year so far in the Minnesota Twins. So my Noli nose told me the weather's fine, and I'm in there like swimwear. So until next time, let's fucking cash, fellas.
There he is, Sharpie bets. Justin says, I don't know nothing about Kano Dog. Just to give you an idea, when I'm bored, I still go through the what's that stupid car site? Fuck, why can't I remember? It's up on my shit, but I go through and I'm still looking for that 1990 navy blue Mustang Cobra. I'm still every week at least 4 or 5. No, not that I would or could buy it if it was available, but I will have it someday. I don't know if I can produce the same mags, but I will have it someday. All right. Let's get to work here in NBA, but let's review all MLB action here. We have San Diego, Minnesota, first 5 under 4 plus 100 for me. Jose's on that first 5 under 4.5 minus 118. Big market move to the over in that spot. Rays minus 108 for Jose. Also, spreadsheet play today is Tampa minus 114. Ron Crawford's giving us the NHL spreadsheet play today on Carolina at let's get that. Is that on the reg line or are you going to swallow the juice? Let us know, Ron, if you could copy and paste that here. Then let's move on to the next ball on the board. Over at 9.5 for Jose in Giants, Arizona. And then Sharpie, Rangers money line and over 6 Ks for Uvalde in the over 18.5 outs.
Over 9 minus 120 for the Cardinals Padres game.
Oh,
sorry,
you.
Diamondbacks.
Thank you. Yes, I had 9.5 there. That's very important. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
All right, let's move on to NBA and your next guest. And thank you, Jose. I forgot that you were just doing MLB with me. Thank you, Jose. And maybe you should join us for the Celtics breakdown, as we love to have you involved.
I'll go to war.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I obviously don't give a fuck. I've pissed off people. Shout out to Gagnon, who's mad online right now. It's all right. I'm ready to go to war.
But you're going to war with the Sixers, right?
No, I'm going to war with just America, apparently. So all the whites, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Let's stay focused here. Remember, we are just one group of cappers. We are one group of cappers. That's it. And that's what makes our channel so special. We head to NBA, and your next guest has been spectacular this year, and he's come onto a rough streak in the playoffs with us here on the show. And it's just because of the days that he's been on with me, because his Sixers are running hot and he's making tons of money with them. But on the days he has backed them here on the show, they have not come together. East semifinals, game 6, Boston Celtics at Philadelphia 76ers, where we start. Please welcome to the show from South Jersey, Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, what's happening?
What up? What up, boys?
It is nice to see you, Brizzy. Let's get to work here.
Who is that bobblehead?
Sean O'Malley, baby. You got to represent.
Okay, I didn't know. It looks terrifying. I was just curious.
Let's go, Brizzy. Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My season has been atrocious in NBA, but I have hit 5 of 6 in the playoffs, and the record is bad. It's bad, but we're moving it in the right direction. Now we have enough time left, I think, to possibly, make it less embarrassing. That's all. Game 6. The series has been played 92.47 possessions a game. And it's right in Philly's wheelhouse. It's exactly how slow they want to be playing it. I'm surprised that Boston hasn't sped it up. One of the things about Philly playing the slow pace is Maxey can go to from 0 to 100 real quick and make it fast paced whenever he wants to. And he picks times to do it. And it kind of catches teams off guard because they get used to the slow pace that the Sixers play and that Harden plays. Alfred 44 says he already has a Celtics bet from yesterday, but he can't lie. He's a little worried. Slow Jams Arsenal said, Daryl said yesterday Boston is barbecue chicken. The Sixers coming off a giant 115-103 win at Boston in Game 5. Embiid went for 33, Maxey 30, Harden 17, 10, and 8. And all of a sudden, there was a Daniel House sighting as well. 10 points and 5 boards. Sixers haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals since 2001. Tatum went for 36, but it was pretty ugly. 11 to 27 from the field. Brown added 24. But if we want to talk ugly, got to talk about Al Horford. He was atrocious offensively and defensively. And we're not used to seeing that. He's always a calming influence on the floor for the Celtics. 0 for 7 from 3. And
I've been hearing some rumblings. They're starting Robert Williams tonight.
That would be detrimental to my health. By the way, Jim, was the Kawhi shot not in the Eastern Conference Finals?
No.
Really, it wasn't? Wow.
No, it was round 2.
Shit. I really thought that was the finals.
Let's go into the line history here for this one and take a look at the cash flow. There have been really, really easy wins the last couple days.
Yo, facts though, Jim. Yeah. The NBA's turned into the NHL the last couple of days, though.
It has. I don't feel that way today.
Me either, at all whatsoever.
Celtics open up at -1.5. They're now -2.5. A 1-point move towards them. Total wise, it's opened up at 214.5 and it's dropped to 213.
Man.
Let's take a look at the cash flow on this spot here. We have 59% of the tickets, 69% of the cash on the Celtics moved a point in their direction. Total wise, 25% of tickets, but 80% cash on the under. I was kind of fortunate to cash the first half under in this last game. I was kind of fortunate. The full game, was pretty clear over, and I caught it by, I had the over under 109.5, and it ended at 107, and there was a ton of bricks in that second quarter. So I was pretty fortunate here, but I want to go back to a first half under and full game under. Let's start with Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, your Sixers are so close right now to an Eastern Conference final that you would imagine would have been a dream opposition at one point.
Yeah, it kind of sucks though, because like the way things are gonna work, man, it's just like we're gonna get to the finals. LeBron's gonna win, and it's just like another Philadelphia team gets to the championship and loses.
That would be a shame. I'd hate
that. That's so gonna happen, dude. The Sixers and the Lakers in the NBA finals. LeBron goes through all the MVPs, blah blah blah.
Oh God,
it's a sad day to be a Sixers fan because like I know we're gonna win, but it's just like the next part sucks.
I don't feel the six. If Embiid, if his knee is okay, then I think
his knee is okay. What do you mean his knee is okay? We just smoked the Boston Celtics at the crib.
So you're really confident he plays every game for the rest of the playoffs through.
I didn't say all that. Now we're jumping to conclusions.
Okay, so I said if his knee's okay, and you jumped on me. If his knee's okay, that's an if, man.
He's all right right now, though. He's playing all right.
Yeah, he is.
It's maybe Davis, man. You might get hit in the face and get a wheelchair to the fucking hospital, dude. You don't ever know. Like, the way these NBA injury scripts have been going, and I mean, like, the Anthony Davis injury last night felt like the most bogus injury. How do you get hit in the face and you get wheelchaired off? Okay, cat.
That was the biggest pussy thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Paul Pierce shit himself and took a wheelchair out of the fucking thing. He didn't get hit in the head like an idiot. It didn't even look that hard. Anthony Davis is the worst. By the way, the 76ers are not winning this series, so we can continue with this.
Well, let's stay focused here. Wine Time Sports moving on the under 212.5 in this one. Brian Dance has an interesting way of playing it as well. Nasty Nate says Sixers will not make the finals. North Ender says, yeah, NBA's been square as shit lately. Faves are 9-1 last 10. And Frank 0 says his play today is Celtics 76ers under 212.5. It certainly feels like that's the spot here, but
I think we get a better live line on that because yesterday I wanted to bet the Knicks and Heat game pre-flop under 108.5 first half, and that shit went to 6-4 in the beginning of the first quarter, and that total went up to 112.5, and I grabbed them 111.5, and it was one of probably the easiest bets I've cashed this playoff series so far. And I feel like with the totals and stuff like that, you get better live lines than pre-flop.
It was so the shooting was so atrocious in the first quarter that it lined up for a perfect opportunity for a live over. A nice job taking advantage of it. How are you betting this one, Brizzy? We want to know. Game 6, East semifinals. Take it away.
I think fatigue will be the theme of the day, man. I feel like the Sixers came into the series a little bit banged up, but our performance in that Nets series gave us enough rest to really beat Boston. I feel like I have my doubts about Boston. I mean, they played 11 postseason games. That's tied with Golden State for the most playoff games played this playoffs. And some of the stuff that happened in their last series with Atlanta and those closeout games are now affecting them in the playoffs. I mean, if you look at their three-point numbers have dropped from 37.7 in their first two games down to 35.4%. So that shows that they're showing a little bit of fatigue. And then when you look on the Philadelphia side, they've gotten better throughout the first three games. They shot 31.1% from the three-point line throughout the first three games, and that increased to 39.1% in the past two games. And now you get Philadelphia back at home. I like the home dog straight on the money line, keep the points bookie. It's a little bit of a biased pick. I know I'm a Philadelphia 76ers fan, but I feel like when we walk inside that locker room tonight, there has to be an emphasis on we need rest. We see how the New York Knicks and the Miami series is going right now. That could either that more than likely is probably going to end Friday night. So we need as much rest as we can get. We showed last time when we played against the Nets and everybody was picking against us, and we were I think we were close to a pick 'em. That closing game against the Nets, we ended up handling business. Embiid got his much needed rest, and we ended up looking good in the next series. I feel like that's going to be the theme of this one here. Boston seems a little bit somewhat defeated. You start looking at the Boston rumors and stuff like that. They're not talking about them winning the next round. They're asking if where's Jaylen Brown's trade destinations or free agent destinations this offseason going to be, and what hotels are they going to be partnering up with the Boston Bruins in Cancun. I don't think the Boston Celtics are inspired to win this game. I feel like the public, though, saw what happened last night with the two closeout games. Both of those games got extended. One of these games are going to be the marquee game for Sunday, Mother's Day, so we have to keep that one in mind. That's the reason why I knew the Warriors are going to win last night. You're telling me the Lakers and the Warriors weren't going to play on a Friday night going in? It just seemed too good to be true. But I think this one is the right side. I think Philadelphia is going to win this game outright. Plus 118 on the money line at FanDuel is the way I'm going to go. And I'm going to stay off the player props in this one. I'm pretty convicted that the Sixers are going to win this game. And if they don't, I feel like we're going to be it's going to be a very sketchy slope. I mean, we're the outright betting favorite for the championship betting markets, but we're getting plus money on a closeout game. It just seems like the books know what they're doing here. They're trying to bait people in to take the Boston line. I'm going to pick the home dog.
Sixers plus 118 for Brizzy. Locked in. Your rebuttal, Jose.
Well, I'll start with this. Doc Rivers.
Fuck, I need that computer charger.
Doc Rivers, I actually do too, but it's all right. I'm on 6%. I'll let it ride. Round 2, 2022, led the Nuggets 3-1 loss. Round 2, 2015, led the Rockets 3-1 loss. Eastern Conference Finals in 2012, led the Heat 3-2 loss. 2010 Finals, led the Lakers 3-2 loss. Round 2 in the Magic 3-2 lead in 2009, lost. Round 1 against the Pistons, 2003, lost, leading 3-1.
What does that have to do with tonight, though? Like you're giving me all these numbers.
The choke artist. James Harden has never won a big playoff game in his life. Joel Embiid, go get your 50 points, Joel Embiid, because guess what? Average Al Horford's going to come back with a fucking vengeance today. Rob Williams, I hope he doesn't start because he is a very slender lad, and he will get body rocked by Joel Embiid. But this game is all about the two max money guys, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had his best game in his career last year in Game 6 at Milwaukee Bucks, a better team than this 76ers squad last year. I believe in the Celtics. I don't know why they're favored in this game. I honestly thought the 76ers would be favored in this game at home in their barn. They can't close out a game here. I don't think so. The Celtics win this game. Game 7 is what everyone wants to see. The NBA script writers are up to no good again. Adam Silver in his bag. And we are going to see a Celtics versus the Denver Nuggets NBA Finals, and the Denver Nuggets win the finals and break my soul.
Whatever script you got, that shit is wrong, my G. And why would the script have the Denver Nuggets and the Celtics in the NBA Finals when LeBron? This is the year of the GOAT. LeBron goes through the former MVP in Jokic the series right before he plays the current MVP, and he closes out his career at the top of the mountain. I just feel like that's how the script goes. I mean, I feel like if Jokic won the MVP, then maybe the script would be a little bit changed. But the fact that, I don't know, man, it's a very hard time telling me that this script doesn't say Sixers, Lakers, NBA Finals, and we're getting the Sixers at plus money one last time. I mean, think about all those games that they're going to be playing against the Lakers. They're going to be like laying 5 to 6 points at home. Like, I don't know, man. It's just the way I'm going to go with this game. You didn't give me any statistical data that has anything to do with tonight.
Nope, I don't. You know I don't cap on stats, Billy. You know that, especially when it comes to basketball.
Give me something. Give me something though. It's not that I'm saying stats are like, oh my God, look at this 3-point stat. This is the way I'm going to go. No, you got to mix in the narrative with the stats and the statistical data. Like, for example, like the Warriors and Lakers. The Warriors are fucking good at home. They only won 17 fucking road games the whole entire year. The fucking Rockets have a better road record than the fucking Warriors. It's not rocket science that the Warriors aren't going to win on the road. You just got to mix in the stats with the narrative and the story. Like, I feel like you're trying to create the script, but you got the wrong writer.
House last night. I got to be a facts. I got to fax it. And by the way, of course, that was easy. LeBron's not going to try in a Game 5. He's never tried.
I think the Game 7 game is going to be this Phoenix and Denver game, the next game that we're going to talk about. That screams like the 5-6 o'clock Sunday Mother's Day game for me, because if the Sixers played the Celtics in a Game 7 on Mother's Day, that game would be early in the day, like 1 or 12 o'clock East Coast time. I think the NBA makes more money with a 5 o'clock game with everybody sitting around the table watching the game.
Jose, what did you make official here for the show?
I will just lay the 2.5 with the Celtics, and I'll give you 2 plugs before we go. 3 plugs, by the way, because I obviously agree. I disagree with Billy there. I think the Nuggets close out the Phoenix today. I bet Nuggets money line as well. But 2 things tonight, a rare non-baseball playback edition for tonight. We will be watching 76ers Celtics. I will be sweating my balls off live on camera once again. This will be very much memories of USA Venezuela. It'll be that again. And when the Celtics win tonight, damn it, when the Celtics win tonight, we are going to pull out all the big guns. Me and Nasty Nate will be watching Game 7 together as the Celtics take their crowns once again over the city of Philadelphia. And
I will say, though, if you're on the Celtics side, why would you bet the Celtics money line tonight at chalk money if the Celtics are plus 200 to win the Eastern Conference?
Great point. I told my good.
I'm just saying, man. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Personal friend Razor, he's got all that money on the 76ers. Now's the time. Take the Celtics. Little hedge. Don't hurt yourself.
Razor told me from day one he is not hedging that bet at all whatsoever. And Razor knows what's up. Shouts to my guy in the chat, Earl Sports Bets. He says 76ers and Nuggets close it out. One of these games, you guys got to think about it like this. If the NBA has a Sunday primetime slot every Sunday, and this Sunday specifically is Mother's Day, one of these games are going to be on Sunday. It's a guarantee.
The Celtics.
Jose on the Celtics -2.5, -103. Brizzy on the Sixers, money line at +118. And Earl Sports Bets, if you like the Celtics, he says take them to win the series at +140, then take Philadelphia money line game 7.
Like Billy just said.
Let's move on to the second game this evening. I have talked about how badly I wanted to see LeBron and Steph play. Now, I know this goes against a lot of the Celtics fans' hopes, but I really want to see Jokic and Embiid play. As a fan, I would like to see them in the NBA Finals after this whole MVP.
As a fan, I would love to see that. The Sixers fucking smoked the Nuggets.
Can we just make that the worth 2 MVPs then too? Could just let them settle the MVP debate there as well.
But here we talk about Game 6 in the West semifinals. Denver leading the series 3-2. Billy Friedrich liking the under in this one. Piker says, talk about how the Celtics come off a loss at home into Philly last time to support when you're on the season. Look, the Celtics being 10-10 in their last 20 playoff games at home is just one of the craziest stats I've ever heard.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Bruins in the playoffs. Like, what's up with these Boston teams right now, dude? Like, what the fuck?
It's so shocking. It's so shocking.
It's too much pressure. The crowds, when a little hint of anxiety happens.
Bro, they were wildly disrespecting the Celtics in the last game, bro. They were booing and walked out of the gym.
They should have.
Minutes left. There are 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and people are walking out the stadium.
I'm surprised that it took. I thought the booing would come earlier. They were still cheering the third quarter. I'm like, what game are you got? What
are you cheering for?
All agreed with you guys. They should have booed the shit out of them earlier.
Eddie Willer says Harvey Keitel's bad lieutenant right about wanting game 7s. But let's talk about this spot here. It's a fascinating one. Nuggets, Suns, Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. The series is being played at around the pace that they played all season. Very different than what has happened in the Celtics-Sixers series, where the series is being played at a very slow pace, which is exactly the very slow pace that the Sixers have played in the playoffs. The Sixers have been dictating the pace in that series. Here, the pace isn't too important. The series is being played at 97.30 possessions a game. Denver played 98.74 in the regular season. They're playing 96.05 in the playoffs. Suns were right there, 98.83 in the regular season, 98.40 in the playoffs. Let's take a look at the line history. And one thing that was mentioned by Troy Torrance is it's a little different here with the line movement than what we've seen in these games that we thought were so easy. But Troy Torrance says trend suggests both road teams win tonight. Market suggests both road teams win tonight. And Troy says his eyes tell him that both road teams.
My eyes don't agree with that. Denver's dog shit on the road, dude. I don't know what you've been watching this year or in the playoffs, but Denver on the road is not that profitable.
I've been watching Suns team get weaker as the playoffs have gone on, and Durant and Booker become more.
Nah, Jim. They're playing 44 minutes a night and going from Phoenix, Arizona to Denver, Colorado in altitude, which is probably the worst place to play on 48 hours in between games. That is the worst place to play, is in Denver off of 48 hours. Remember back in the Jordan days, the Utah Jazz used to always get into the finals because the freaking people would go up to Utah and they would get gassed out.
I think a couple Hall of Famers had something to do with that as well.
Yeah, that as well.
The Suns opened up -3.5. They're now -2.5. Did you think that? I mean, you have to say roster-wise, with Chris Paul and now Ayton.
Actually, no, man. They just don't like. So in reality, if you gave me I think the Suns bench is better than the Nuggets bench. If you look at the history of some of these guys, like Terrence Ross, TJ Warren, Jack Landell was a star over there in Australia and stuff like that, versus guys like fucking Bruce Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Bruce Brown went off for 25 points.
JaMychal Green. I'm just saying, though, bro. Bruce Brown, though, man. Bruce Brown or Landry Shamet, I don't think there's that big a difference. Like, one plays defense, the other one just shoots threes.
You haven't brought up Paul and Ayton.
Because in reality, if the Nuggets really wanted to win this series, they would bench fucking DeAndre Ayton's bitch ass and play Jack Landale, because Jack Landale is better than DeAndre Ayton in this offense. But that won't happen, so I can't put my money on the Suns yet.
We've gone from -3.5 to -2.5, a 1-point move towards the Nuggets. This total's gone from 226.5 to 226. It's dropped a half point. We'll go into the cash flow here for this one.
Some people in the comment section are talking about the Nuggets bench, blah, blah, blah. But you got to remember these home teams play, their role players play better at home.
We have 37% of the tickets on the Nuggets and 79% of the cash on the spread. On the money line, it's 66% of the tickets on the Nuggets and 95% of the cash. You could say that that's too much cash on the Nuggets, and that would make, if you had Nuggets money line, you could say that makes me a little nervous, and that would be fair. Total wise, 45% of tickets and 84% of cash is on the under. Obviously, it was an impressive 118-102 win at home over Phoenix in Game 5. Jokic 29, 13, and 12, 10th career postseason triple-double. That's one more than Wilt Chamberlain. That's the most all-time among centers. Jokic looks very good in this series. I mean, he's a very, very good basketball player. We talked about Bruce Brown dropping 25. We also talk about how role players step up at home in the playoffs and seem to be invisible on the road here. We have Booker. He was seen limping. They've said that it's not a big deal. Monty Williams said it's not a big deal. And I believe Booker will be ready to go. 28 points in that loss. He's averaging 34.6 and 7.8. Chris Paul, groin, will miss another game. Ayton also might not even play. So maybe you get your wish there, Brizzy.
Please, dude, fucking bench DeAndre Ayton, man. Man, Jack Landale might not be athletically gifted as DeAndre Ayton, but that dude has heart, something that DeAndre Ayton doesn't have.
The home teams won every game in the series. Denver's dominated at home, winning by an average of 14.7 points. The Suns have won by an average of 6 points. So it's a little different, but they have taken care of business. We have an idea of where you're going, Brizzy, but take it away. Do you have action? Are you waiting? And what is your plan?
I'm a little bit stuck because I feel like the move here is to bet Phoenix, but betting Phoenix at chalk money just doesn't seem profitable, to be honest with you. But when you really zoom it out and you look at the Denver Nuggets on the road this season, I mean, they're 20-25 on the road this season with a dreadful 6-13 record as an underdog on the road and a 10-9 ATS as a road dog this season. So to be honest with you, Denver's not that profitable on the road, man. On the other side, when I look at Phoenix, man, I think Devin Booker has a good game, man. If you look at Devin Booker's stats and stuff like that, I feel like the Devin Booker point prop correlates with the Suns winning the game. So I might just bet the Devin Booker prop instead of actually betting the Suns. I mean, he's cleared over 31.5 points in 5 out of their 6 wins and 4 out of their last 5 home games. And the only other player that has as high of effective field goal percentage this playoff as Devin Booker is Stephen Curry. Those two are the highest points per game in the NBA playoffs right now. So, I mean, if Booker's going to play like this and the Nuggets aren't that profitable on the road, it feels like the Suns win this game, but from a betting perspective, it might be smarter to bet Devin Booker point prop over because it correlates with the Suns winning. Because I think if Devin Booker has another 35 to 40-point game, I would be surprised if the Suns don't win this game. But could the Suns still lose with Devin Booker having 35 to 40 points? That's definitely in the cards a possibility. But I think this series is going to get extended a couple more games. And if this gets extended a couple more games, that means the Suns are going to have to win tonight. And the Suns' 2 games that they won so far in this series, Devin Booker has scored 83 points. Landry Shamet had 17 in Game 4 at the crib. The Suns' bench outscored Denver 62-31. It's very hard to get points out of people that aren't named Jokic or Murray. Michael Porter Jr. has been shooting red hot of recent. I think that's going to cool off this game. Aaron Gordon hasn't been looking too well. They've been having to more savage his playing time to go guard the perimeter, so his numbers haven't been looking too well. So under on Aaron Gordon, points, rebounds, and assists is definitely a hard lean. That'd probably be in a player prop parlay for me today. I gotta roll with the Suns here in this one, man. The games that they won, they've absolutely smoked Denver's bench, and those games were at home, and they're back at home. Denver's not that good on the road. Both of these teams are coming into this game playing at an altitude and stuff like that, and both teams played a lot of minutes in the last game. I lean with the Suns here winning this game, and I would say official bet would be Devin Booker over on his point prop.
Can we make that official for record-keeping purposes?
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I just don't I feel like I get a better number on the Suns if I wait. All the public money's coming in on the Denver Nuggets. I don't need to bet the Suns at -3 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon for a 10 o'clock game. Like, that just doesn't make sense. I'll probably just bet this game around like 7 or 10 o'clock, honestly. I think the best time to bet NBA games, honestly, is 30 minutes before the next game starts. So when the Knicks game is in the fourth quarter, that's when you bet the Warriors game. And then you see all the late market moves. You see everything. We get more information. It's like UFC betting. The best time to bet a UFC fight is when they're walking out into the cage. We have all the information. I feel like that's the same exact way with this game. I already see the market move going since I've been on the show. I mean, Denver's now down to +2.5, and Phoenix is now -136 in the money line. But the Devin Booker prop's getting slammed right now. Devin Booker's going up to 32.5 in some places. So I think I'm going to move on the Devin Booker prop at 31.5 at -130.
Over 31.5 points at -130. Polo this, polo that. KCP 2 threes at +120, 3 threes at +450. Says too much value. So a very, very interesting note came from our guy Earl Sports Bets. This is wild. Since 2008, when the home team wins the first 5 games, the home team in Game 6 is 6-13 straight up, and 5-14 against the spread. We see this in NHL too. It's wild. And also 0-11 against the spread since 2016. I'm interested in the under in both of these games. I want to touch on it, but first, I'd like to close talking about the total, Billy. But next, Piker, aka Poker Addicted 79, says, "What say breastfed Bouquet on this matter?" Take it away, Jose. Nuggets, Suns. Game 6.
Jokic, best player on the court. Jokic, best player in the world. Denver Nuggets, just a better team. I believe in the Nuggets here. I think they're going to win the NBA championship. Everyone wants to keep talking about LeBron James and the Lakers when they have always disabled Anthony Davis out. I don't believe in him. I don't believe in the Suns because they're a little bit too new guy. Unfortunately, they have DeAndre Ayton, who is softer than toilet paper, like we all know.
But he's not playing tonight, man. He doesn't play. Fire me up some Jack Landale, man. Jack Landale's legit.
I'd like to see him play the full 40 minutes. Whoever guarding Jokic, it won't really matter because he'll get either 50 points and 10 rebounds, 7 assists, or I'll just say, fuck it. I'll go with my 30-point triple-double. It won't matter. Denver Nuggets win this game, win the series, and beat the Lakers handily.
I want to see if I can find a Jack Landale prop, because if I can find a Jack Landale prop, I might make that official on the show.
Points?
Anything, points and rebounds, dude. He's actually, if you have sleeping problems and you watch overnight Australia basketball, Jack Landale was the shit, man. He was one of the best players in that league the year that LaMelo Ball was in there.
Yeah, he was all right on the Spurs too.
He was all right on the Spurs too, man. I'm telling you, man, once these books pop up, these Jack Landale props after we get official DeAndre Ayton news and we get confirmation Jack Landale's in the lineup, I might not tweet this shit out, but I'm betting that Jack Landale double-double prop and Jack Landale points and rebounds. I think Jack Landale might be – call me crazy, call me what you want, call me how you see it. I think Jack Landale could be the X factor in tonight's game, man. And if you look at his points, his fantasy points per minute, which actually translates to the plus-minus minutes, his plus-minus minutes are so much fucking better than DeAndre Ayton's. It's just they're paying DeAndre Ayton. They're not paying Jack Landale.
Fucking Chad. Chad's been a fucking wild ride today.
Let's talk.
Jack, it's all Landale.
What are you making What are you making official, Jose, my friend?
Nuggets money line, whatever price we can get it at. That's what it will be. I like the Nuggets. And Justin, answer your question. Show tonight, not Say Hey plays, but we're doing the Say Hey playbacks here. We'll be watching 76ers Celtics. If the Celtics win, I'll stay on and be happy. For the other game, if the Celtics lose, I'll end the stream immediately and go cry into my pillow.
Plus 123 you're getting on that money line. Touch the total for me, Brizzy, because I don't know if we can expect the proper efficiency from the Suns. Now, obviously, when you have KD and Booker, there's going to be iso ball and there's going to be a lot of shots taken, but I don't know if the efficiency is going to be up there. And there's so much on the line here.
I think you gotta wait for this DeAndre Ayton news. If the DeAndre Ayton's in, I would bet the under. But if he's out, I think they're gonna have a fucking pool party in that bitch and have fucking Jack Landell, Bismack Biyombo, and TJ Warren split the big man minutes. I mean, TJ Warren's been playing. He's been playing decent. I have
a better shot than Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah, but let's say DeAndre Ayton isn't in the lineup. This pace of play for the Suns might be ridiculous tonight.
Everybody in the chat, I'd love to hear what your plan is for the total in Nuggets Suns, because I'm interested in moving on, both unders, under in, both the East and the West games here.
I kind of agree with the statement, though, because I think this goes 7 games. And if this goes 7 games, one of these upcoming games are probably going to go under, and it would be more likely in Phoenix than in Denver.
All right. That was a wild NBA breakdown. We have Jose and Brizzy on opposite sides of both games. Earl Sports Bets looking at the Suns team total under 114. So Wine Time, he is on both unders in both these NBA games. The thing is, Wine Time, was that I prefer to have both first half and full game unders.
I like more first half unders than full game unders because you guys are betting unders on like more of like elimination games, meaning like star players. So as like the series get deeper, the star players play more minutes. Now we're betting unders on players snapping in game 6s and 7s. Like, and that's not the way to be profitable in the NBA. I'll tell you that much. Because you know how many times I see the Heat play and people bet the under on Jimmy Butler's point prop. Like, what the fuck are you watching, man?
God, he looks good. But I believe his point prop went under last game.
Yeah, no, but still, it's just like the heart of like, what are you watching? Why are you betting? Go bet Julius Randle's under. Like, go bet that bum. Go bet DeAndre Ayton's unders or Aaron Gordon's. Don't bet those star players. Like, I don't know, man. I think we try to get too deep into the numbers as sports bettors when we can just simplify things a little bit.
I think I'm going to take unders in both these games in first half and full games.
Do you think you get a better live line though?
Oh, at some point you're going to get a better live line, probably. For me, I like to have some pregame action in. Because like what we saw in that Knicks Heat game with just a horrific offense in the first quarter, it gives you a chance to middle. I like having pregame action in. And
same here, but sometimes I feel like as sports bettors / content creators and stuff like that, we get pressured into giving out pre-flop bets and stuff like that. But in reality, the better bets are in these live markets. And you can make – I honestly think you make more money in the live betting markets than you would pre-flop bets. Is just the content creation business and stuff like that. You got to adapt to a little bit. But I don't know, man. I think the playback is where it's going to be – where the money is going to be at tonight. So that's why you guys got to tune into the playback, because I think the live bets on these games are going to be a lot better, dude. Like, for example, the Warriors game last night, When the Lakers started coming back a little bit, the Warriors' first half was -4.5 at -130. Like those are like the type of live betting spot scenarios that you get not pre-flop.
I agree. It is tricky. Like when we're all together, like you can be with playback, then it's really easy. But for me, I've got to prep for tomorrow, and I've got to watch the Stars. I got to watch the Stars game too. So, but I hear you. If you're focusing on one thing, it is.
You're right though, Jim. You're right though. I did forget about that Dallas Stars game. Is going to be coming on the same exact time as that Suns game. That Suns game is going to be one of those games I'm gonna have the pre-flop bets on, but my television screen is going to be on the Dallas Stars Kraken game.
I need the Stars. It's more than money now with the Stars.
Pride.
Fuck yeah. No, it's more than money now.
Is it pride or is it more of like
hubris?
It's that
it's an SAT word for you.
I was a center iceman, and face-offs I spent hours and hours and hours on because I didn't have enough upper body strength, and I needed to be quicker than a lot of the centers I went up against. And the importance of starting with the puck.
Facts though. Dallas's face-off numbers is ridiculous.
It's so crucial, and you have the special teams. I've got a lot of money for my unit size situation with 500 on the series and 400 on the -1. But I also want to be right so goddamn badly. And I have the futures now on the Stars, but I want to be fucking right. It makes me want to smash this table. How bad I want to be right. I want to be fucking right.
Do you have a bet on the Stars tonight or just a future bet?
I have 400 on them on the -1 line. So it's 2 units. I have 500 on them on the series. I have 400 on them to win the West, but that is praying that it's Stars Oilers in the next round, and I can just sit back and count cash.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, man. I feel like that New Jersey Carolina series might wrap up tonight, so this one might go 7.
I can't wait for these games. It's so much fun. As soon as the kids go to bed and I pop an edible and start prepping and watching, it's like I can't. Like I'm all alone in the dark, and it's so much fun. Like it's 4 or 5 hours of just. I love what we do. I love what we do so much.
You upgraded from the deck joint sessions?
I know. Because I don't. In case something goes wrong with the kids, I don't want to smell like anything. So I'm only hitting edibles hard these days, man.
Yo, you know what you should do though, Jim? I think you would like a cart. Like the disposable carts that have like all you have to do is hit it 2-3 times and you're good for the day. Like I let my aunt hit it. She hit it. It's like she hits it maybe once or twice and she's like good for the day.
Well, I respect that. I respect that very much. And Gogster prides himself for those as well. But let's review all action. Brizzy, stick around for the end of this show here. Let's review all action. It's been a pretty good week. We're 12-9 plus 2.91 units. That's buoyed by the fact that we're 6-1 plus 5.61 units in NHL and NBA combined. MLB hasn't been so good, and it's already a 1-0 with a runner on second in the top of the first for the Padres game, which makes me a little nervous. Let's review all action here. So in NHL, I don't even care what happens in the Devils Hurricanes game. I don't give a fuck. Whatever happened, I'll keep an eye on it just so we can, for study. But Gogster's on first period draw plus 175, high scoring period, the third at plus 190, his year over 2.5 shots, and Jarvis over 2.5 shots. Then I want Dallas to win so goddamn badly. So fucking badly. And Spenny's on Seattle first period plus 130, full game plus 170, Eberle goal plus 280 and over a half point. Gogster's on no goal first 90s on Yanni Gord over 1.5 shots, Bjorkstrand over 2.5 shots. The Kraken are very dangerous on the road. The Stacks play today's Reds team total over 4.5 from our Justin McElvey, and he's a half run away from cashing that shit early. I only have one baseball bet today. First 5 under 4 plus 100 in San Diego, Minnesota, which doesn't look good. Jose's on the first 5 under 4.5.
Thank you for that Astros bet yesterday. I tailed you on that one. That shit was a cigar.
All three of them? The first half full game and under, or just which one?
First half full game.
Nice. And the +1.5 or minus a half first.
Minus a half. I did minus a half because I was a little bit nervous, Jim. I was like, I don't bet the minus a half, and then that was a good one, man.
That was a good one, yeah. That felt good. And then I didn't take the -1 full game, and they won by a run. It all felt very, very good. Then we have Jose on the Rays -108. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is the Rays -114. We already heard Joe Yurkovich on the Yankees. Jose's on the over 9 at -120 in San Francisco, Arizona. And Sharpie gave us Rangers money line and over 6Ks from Eovaldi at -127, over 18.5 outs. BJ is dropping a 5-unit play of the month on the Boston Celtics money line -135. That's 2,500 he's got there.
Save that rent money, man.
Going up against Brizzy, who's on the Sixers at +118. Jose's on the -2.5, -103. It feels like I'm going to sweat these unders out. It feels like I'm leaning towards unders on both these games. Brizzy's on Booker over 31.5 points at -130. Jose's on the Nuggets at +123. And Jose, you did say that.
I just reminded myself. I was like, fuck me. But yeah, shout out to the Reds. Whatever.
You talked about the volatility in those. Nick Reinhardt looking at the under in both NHL games. And we saw that last night. My plan got totally screwed when I saw the money I just made on the first period under. And I was like, let's just guarantee a winning night instead of moving on that under 7. And I told myself all day, you win the first period under 1.5 Toronto game, you put the under 7 in the Oilers game, and then you win and see the money. And you're like, I'm good. Stupid. All right. That is our show. Now, Brizzy, if you want to add anything to your action for our record keeping purposes, just tag me.
Nah, I think today is one of those type of days. Just want to keep a low volume. Low volume has been the nice way to go. I mean, we got Bellator Friday morning, then we got UFC Charlotte Saturday morning. So I have more than enough action prepared for the weekend.
Why is that so early? Why is UFC Charlotte like 8 a.m.?
I have no idea.
Weird, yeah.
Super weird, but I'm not complaining. Give me a fucking Saturday night where I can go get drunk.
Fair enough.
Oh, I feel you. And Billy Freddie saying Freddie Anderson to start Ranta backing it up. And says still not sure how Ranta lost his starting job. That is our show for today. Thank you guys. We have nothing without you guys. Billy Friedrich, Mike M, started the Pimp Slap play today and the Hit to Be Square play of the day. Bo Jackson, Nick Reinhard, Alfred 44, our guy Piker.
Where's my guy Gagnon?
Gagnon, everybody. Parl Angel, Rem Most, Sweaty Butcher, Danielson, Johnny K, Raymond Reichart, Jake Burns. Tell me he didn't just say that. Prefers the first half under in Celtics 76ers.
Yep,
and the full game under in Suns Nuggets. Interesting. Thank you guys. Johnny K, Top Set, Polo this, Polo that, OG Lowbagger there. Earl Sports Bets had great stuff. Troy Torrance, Rick J, Wine Time. I love it. Thank you guys. We have absolutely nothing without you. Our guy, Billy Brisbane, you have a big week ahead of us. We talked about the Saturday UFC. Do you also want to mention the podcast that you do with Millsy and you and Big Show Picks? You want to talk about that here?
Yeah, about to record that one as soon as the conclusion of this episode. We're going over UFC Charlotte. Last week we had Preston on, I think. Yeah, I think we had Preston on. We're trying to grow the podcast, get the view count, or I shouldn't say view count, the download count up. So if you're on your drive to work in the morning or you're on your smoke break at night, make sure you download the boys over there at Pub Sports Radio on all streaming platforms.
I love it. Jose, great work. Thank you for joining me for MLB. Stay hot. Let's go. And Brizzy, could you please leche us into the future?
I can't. I don't. Was it hell those bookmakers?